There are few scenes in all of college football quite like the Grove here at Ole Miss. It's a homecoming of sorts, but traditional Southern hospitality might not extend as warmly to its former coach. The lingering emotions still run high on both sides.
1, 2, 3.
It's the Auburn Tigers and the 18th-ranked Ole Miss Rebels tonight from Oxford. Tailgating in the Grove, an Ole Miss tradition. Second to absolutely none. These folks have been arriving since 5:30 this morning. They'll be over 10,000 strong by game time this afternoon. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome to Primetime College Football here on ESPN2. What everybody's waiting on? Well, obviously the return of former head coach Tommy Tuberville, because when he departed Oxford, he was a very controversial figure. But Tuberville will be the first one to point out to you that neither the return of a former head coach or the fans are going to have any bearing on the outcome of this game. That's going to be left up to two veteran quarterbacks and two outstanding running backs. Deuce McAllister, truly a Heisman candidate, probably the most versatile back in America. And a young guy by the name of Rudy Johnson, a junior college transfer who burst onto the scene last week and had 174 yards for the Auburn Tigers. When we come back, Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten will be here with me. We'll have more on tonight's ball game. But right now, let's go back to the studio and Reese Davis. Reese?
All right, Ron, thanks a lot. And you can already feel the electricity in Oxford. Rod Gilmore, John Makovic joining me. And already we've had a terrific afternoon of college football, a couple of games that really sort of shaped the day for us. Nebraska and Notre Dame went to overtime, and the Huskers survived. 27-24, Eric Crouch with the game-winning touchdown in overtime. In a game you saw on ESPN2, all losing streaks are over. South Carolina beats Georgia 21-10, the final in that one. Quincy Carter threw 5 interceptions in that game. Not the quarterback play we expected to see from him, but terrific game we'll see tonight between Ole Miss and Auburn, and two very good quarterbacks. Absolutely, and Romero Miller will have to do a great job because Deuce McAllister is going to be stacked up. There'll be 8 or 10 guys near the line of scrimmage. He'll have to throw the ball. Coach, I think Ole Miss will have to throw it a little bit early.
Tommy Tuberville can say whatever he wants, but he's going to be glad when this game finally kicks off. And if the offensive line can give Ben Laird the kind of protection that Tommy got coming into the stadium, he's going to have a good game.
They won't be armed except with their headgears and their shoulder pads. We'll be with you at halftime to get you up to date on all the scores and highlights. Deuce McAllister will try to provide some highlights. Auburn and Ole Miss coming up.
This is a real mom-and-pop hardware store. I think we have a nice family feel. A couple of months ago, we got a little bump in our car. Oh, we've been with our State Farm agent for 26 years. Because I think he puts his personal self into it. Just like we do at the hardware store, he actually listens to what your needs are. It makes me feel pretty important.
Get to know your State Farm agent.
You can't put a price on a good relationship.
To all the new e-businesses just getting started, why not talk to the company that's pioneered the business-to-business revolution on the web? One whose experience in e-commerce has become a model for doing business on the internet. One who can help you achieve the same success with your e as we have with ours. Dell knows how e works. Visit Dell.com.
Dell e-Business servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
He's a marked man among Ole Miss fans, but Tommy Tuberville's biggest concern is avenging last year's painful loss to his former team. With newcomer Rudy Johnson, the Tigers' once-proud running game is coming back to life. Ole Miss has never had a Heisman winner, but senior Deuce McAllister is poised and ready to make a run for it. The rallying cry among Rebel fans everywhere, get the ball in Deuce's hands by any means possible. Rebels take the field as tonight from Vaught Hemingway Stadium on the campus campus of the University of Mississippi. It's the first conference game in the West for the Ole Miss Rebels and the Auburn Tigers, two arch rivals for certain. And in fact, let's go down to the sideline and visit with Adrian Karsten quickly, who is with Coach Tommy Tuberville of Auburn.
Coach, I think, or rather, Ron, these are how college football rivals are born in the South, with all the emotions surrounding this game, the first conference clash, and of course this man. Coach, you took this field for the first time in 2 years a few minutes ago, pumping your fist. You knew the moment had to come. What were you thinking?
Well, it's been a long 2 years since the great times we had here at Ole Miss, but had a few emotional moments when I first walked on the field 2 hours ago, but I'm an Auburn Tiger now.
Coach, it's not just you, but your 7 assistants that you took with you from Ole Miss who have come back, and 2 administrative assistants. The last word to them and to your players.
Well, we're going to have to play hard, and we're going to have to play for 60 minutes because they got a great football team and some great players, and we've got to play a lot more consistent than we did last week.
Coach, thanks very much for taking the time. Good luck tonight. Ron, a reminder, Coach Tuberville is well protected by Alabama State troopers. All negative comments he could have heard obviously drowned out down in this corner, his tunnel, by the Auburn fans. Could be much ado about nothing, Ron.
Okay, Adrian, I think probably that's exactly what it is. Mike Godfrey joins us as usual on the telecast. Coaches don't play and fans don't play.
No, once that ball's kicked off, they can forget about Tommy Tuberville. They're playing for the SEC opener.
We got 2 running backs here tonight. First of all, Deuce McAllister. For people who have not seen him, I said in the open, he may be the most versatile back in America. You agree?
Yeah, I do agree, Ron. Hard running back, and they'll move him around because he has good hands. They'll put him out at flanker. They'll try to match him up against the linebacker. They're looking for a matchup. On the other side, you got Rudy Johnson, excellent running back that all of a sudden give Auburn a running game, which will open up Ben Laird in the passing game.
Well, speaking of Laird, 2 veteran quarterbacks, 2 seniors. Laird for the Auburn Tigers, and on the right, Romero Miller, young fella who was a senior out of Shannon, Mississippi. Ole Miss wins the toss. They defer, so the Auburn Tigers will receive. As we look at David Cutcliffe in his 2nd season as the head coach here at Ole Miss, last year had 10 wins as they got a bowl victory over Oklahoma. And the weather for tonight, we've been battling rain in Oxford this week, but not tonight. 40% chance of showers, but right now the sky is getting higher. 82 degrees and the humidity 72%. Lee Rogers sets to kick it off for Ole Miss. Robinson along with Carter, 2 speedsters back deep. And we're underway. This one is returnable. Robinson, 20, kicks it open at the 30, at the 40, and is tackled from behind at the 47-yard line. 40 yards on the return to open for Auburn. So the Tigers open with the senior quarterback, Ben Laird, out of Hartwell, Georgia. The receivers with him, Ronnie Daniels, had a touchdown pass last week. He is an awfully good one. Reggie Worthy, the big tight end, Lorenzo Diamond. Ben got off to a hot start last Thursday night in that victory against Wyoming. And we'll see if he can do the same thing tonight. He sure got great field position. On the shotgun, they swing it out. And that is to Carter. Turns the corner. Here comes a flag down, and we may have a clip on the play as he picked up 10 yards. 11, in fact, on the play.
Ron, you're going to see a lot of Tim Carter tonight in a lot of different positions because he's a 4.2 40-yard dash guy with great speed. They want to get the ball in his hands.
So here are the men down in the trenches that we'll be talking about tonight. For the Auburn Tigers, the man to keep an eye on in the middle, Ben Nowlin. The coaches say far and away has been the biggest surprise for them. Simmons, McGarry, DeCillo, and Sears rounding out those down 5. Ole Miss, Burgess, Sims, Scott, and Shane Elam, the down 4 working against them. On first down, pressure is on Laird. Hit from behind, got his pass away, and it's complete at midfield to Ronnie Daniels.
Laird's pass is complete to number 25, Ronnie Daniels.
The linebackers for Ole Miss, Thomas, Amzie Williams, and Sean Johnson. And keep in mind, Eddie Strong, who was an all-conference performer, not able to go at the middle linebacking spot, and we'll find out how much that bothers Ole Miss this evening. brings this crowd to life as Seneca Taylor, the junior from Gulfport, comes up from that free safety position to make the hit.
Ron, whatever team gets the running game going is going to win this football game as far as I'm concerned. Rudy Johnson, 174 rushing yards against Wyoming. Because when you get the running game going, and both these teams are mere teams, both defenses are suspect, both offensive lines should have their way.
Keith Evans, the outstanding fullback, great blocker for the Auburn Tigers, checks back into the lineup. He's a junior out of West Palm Beach. They go shotgun with a third down of about 2.5.
Movement in the Auburn offensive line. Right tackle.
Colin Sears, senior out of Russellville, Alabama, is the man who moved prematurely. And instead of third down about 2.5, it's going to be 5 yards farther back. Bill Goss, our referee tonight. And now quickly we check the secondary for Ole Miss. Lucas and Justin Coleman at the corners. Seneca Taylor, as you just saw him make the tackle. And Kenny Woods is getting the start tonight at strong safety, replacing Anthony McGee. Now here comes third down. Line to make is the 43.5-yard line. Auburn now 2 penalties for 15 yards in the early going. Fakes the run, is hit, now breaks out, and he's open. Got his pass. Did he catch it? Incomplete. Trapped it at the 32, Ronnie Daniels. And Laird did well just to get rid of the football without being sacked.
He did what he needed to do, but he could have run for the first down, but he chose to throw the football, and Ronnie Daniels just couldn't come up with a catch. He had beaten the coverage of Justin Coleman. Auburn coming out, throwing the football, trying to open up, throwing the ball, and setting up their run.
It will be interesting. They're not booing. They're going Deuce, because number 22, Deuce McAllister, punt return, kick return. They split him out, as you said, a wide receiver, and he is at running back. We'll see if they punt to him.
Ole Miss does not have, they got confusion on the defense. They're going to call a timeout.
So let's take the timeout with them. 13-11 left in this opening quarter. And it is fourth down for the Auburn Tigers. We'll get the punt when we return.
This is life. But don't let it interfere with your driving. Monsoon audio systems in the Volkswagen Passat drive drenched in sound.
Our flight's delayed.
Oh, come on.
Collect. Yo, hey kid, dial 1-800-COLLECT and you'll save Mom at least $1 or $2.
Save $1 or $2?
Oh, she'll love that. Only if she likes saving money. Don't forget.
Forget? For a collect call, dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I have 5 words for you.
You're cute. You're coming with us.
What's going on? Wow. Let's ride. 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
For 16 years, John Elway played for one team in one city. 16 years. In today's sports world, that's something you don't expect to hear. So why did he spend his entire career in Colorado? Was it loyalty? Was it commitment? Was it the water?
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
My beer? Coors. An original Coors.
The Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
So welcome back. Ole Miss had to call a timeout. They did not have enough men on the field for the special teams. And now, interesting here, Mike, Tulane never punted to McAllister last week. They kept it away from him.
I wouldn't either.
Duvall bangs this one. No way the McAllister can return this one 3 yards deep in the end zone. So it's a 51-yard kick. So now we get an opportunity to see Ole Miss on offense. Romero Miller, the senior out of Shannon, Mississippi, over in the Delta, and he will have with him in the backfield. Of course, McAllister, Stackhouse is the fullback. Hurd and Armstrong, the receivers, and Doug Ziegler, who the tight end is very much an offensive threat, former quarterback. Pitch goes to McAllister, turns the corner. Going to have 3, now 4, maybe 5 yards. Rodney Creighton got outside from that right quarterback spot to make the tackle. It was Stackhouse out front blocking him. Down the front, Metcalf over on the left side, probably the best of the offensive linemen. And in the middle, keep an eye on 67, Charlie Perkins. Ben Claxton, the starter, who they thought would be an all-conference performer, broke his foot, or the fibula, last week. They're going to lose him for about 4 to 5 weeks. Smith, McNeil, Chambers, and Torbar are the down 4 for Auburn. Miller with his first throw in and out of the hands of the intended receiver at the 29-yard line. Rayford is the man they were trying to get the football to as we look at the linebackers for Auburn. Brown, Alex Lincoln, who had an outstanding game last week out of Mobile, and Rob Pate. And in the secondary,
5 yards to go for Ole Miss.
Casher, who is their best cover guy, and Creighton at the corners with Simmons and Rashad Walker. 3rd down Ole Miss, and they need to take the ball out to the 30-yard line to keep this drive going. You see the blitz coming in the middle, quick pass. And there's the tight end Ziegler, but a nice open field tackle by Larry Casher, number 24, and they're going to wind up punting the ball just like Auburn did.
Ron, when you have 2 good corners like Rodney Creighton and Larry Casher, Romero Miller is going to have his work cut out for him, because both these corners can lock on a man-to-man, which allows you to play 9 in the box against the run.
Clifton Robinson is the deep man. As you look at Reagan King, averaged almost 44 yards a kick last week. Here's Clifton Robinson. And he got banged. That's either going to be running into or roughing the kicker. Ball is caught at the 23. Coming to the sideline, and Robinson will take it to the 38. But let's check the flag, and I believe that McIntyre, Jerish McIntyre, is the man who ran into it.
And Ron, 4th and 4. Either way, it's going to be a first down for Ole Miss. And a big mistake. It's almost had a shot to block this kick. McIntyre, I think he overran it. Didn't have his hands the right way. McIntyre looks like he has a chance to block this kick. Eddie Grand, running back coach, is the special teams coach, and he just flattened Reagan King.
Look, he tried to block it with his left hand because he was bumping into his teammate.
His own man.
Yeah, and trying to avoid the collision, and knocked King down. Cost him 15. First down, Ole Miss at their own 40. Miller now with an audible. McAllister puts the hit down. He'll go straight for it for about 4 yards in the play, trying to run behind the blocking of Bryce, Perkins, and Benson. And it's Alex Lincoln, we told you, very active linebacker, had a really good game last week, who comes up to make the tackle.
Ron, he's an interesting story. He's out of Murphy High School in Mobile, Alabama, went to Mississippi College, started on that team, but walked on at Auburn, wanted to play, got a scholarship. Now he's the leader of the defense.
McAllister again, not much doing at left guard. This time it's Rob Pate.
Deuce McAllister is going to have his work cut out for him, because Auburn is stacking up with 8 and 9 men. Romero Miller is going to have to get him off of Deuce McAllister. 6'2", 229-pound tailback with 4.4 speed. Mel Kiper lists him as a top draft choice. He can do everything.
You know what he ran in the spring? A 4.27.
Wow. It's a big man.
3 carries for 11 yards so far, though, as Auburn has kept him in check. Short drop right over the middle, got him open. Bouncing off is L.J. Taylor, the senior out of Clewiston, Florida, and it will move the chains for Ole Miss.
Ron, just that action right there. You take Deuce McAllister and you take him in motion. Now you bump out. Larry Kasher has to bump out on Deuce McAllister, and that leaves L.J. Taylor against a strong safety. A pretty good matchup that you like, but that's what the strategy is going to be for Ole Miss.
So that's the decision Auburn has to make.
They got to
covering with the corner or the safety.
They got to decide who you want to match up the corner with.
Play action to McAllister, got him wide open, 31-yard line, and that's Hurd. 16 yards in the pass play. Good blocking by the offensive front that time. Metcalf, Grice, Perkins, Vincent, and Belton Johnson.
And Grant Hurd had 5 catches last week against Tulane. You can see that the really push that he had on the out, there's nobody around him. Rob Pate was in coverage.
8th play of the drive, kept alive by a roughing the kicker penalty against McIntyre. From the 30, here's McAllister, tries to break it out, he does. The Deuce is loose, has 5, has 10, cut it off at 16, and now 17 yards as Lincoln saved a touchdown.
Rob Pate was right there, but Deuce McAllister, as you talked about his size, 6'2", 229, and Tommy Tuberville talked about Deuce McAllister when he was the coach here. He said he won a lot of games for us with second effort. Well, you see that second effort right there, getting into the Auburn secondary.
1st and 10 Ole Miss from the Auburn 14-yard line. Deuce now 4 carries for 27, gets a lead block, turns the corner, and again it's going to be tough sledding as Auburn, as Mike pointed out, has got 8 and 9 men stacked at the line of scrimmage.
But what's happening, Ron, is the corners are having to make tackles. Rodney Creighton, number 10, made that tackle because David Cutcliffe is going to put a lot of pressure on these corners in the passing game, but make them tackle in the running game.
Offset eye, wide receiver to either side on this 10th play of the drive. We'll see if they elect to run or to pass. They keep it on the ground. McAllister hit as he goes at left guard. Maybe one, and it's McNeil, DeMarco McNeil, a redshirt freshman from Pritchard, Alabama, who's there to grab it.
Now here's where Romero Miller has become such a good quarterback, because now David Cutcliffe says he understands our offense, so he can make the checks at the line of scrimmage he couldn't do last year. He didn't know the offense well enough. He does now.
Joe Gunn is the lone setback as Miller goes from a shotgun. Ole Miss, 2 wide receivers to either side. Miller got a man wide open over the middle, got him for the touchdown, and it's Hurd. So put an asterisk by 1 play, roughing the kicker when Auburn had stopped them on defense, and how very costly against the special teams. Les Baker with the extra point attempt, got it right down the middle. So with 8 minutes, 3 seconds left to play in this opening quarter, Ole Miss takes it in for the touchdown, an 11-yard scoring pass from Romero Miller to Grant Hurd, a senior out of Lake Jackson, Texas. We'll be right back.
The Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Introducing Blue for Business from American Express.
Now, talk to me about change.
Okay.
Seemed earlier in your career you seemed to struggle with larger bills, 10s, 20s.
I just wanted to pour Coors Light. It's never been about the money for me. If someone wants to give me exact change, fine. But I just really try and take it one beer at a time.
Yeah, your rookie year, you spilled an entire beer on top of a little old blue-haired lady while trying to break a 10. You're ridiculed in the press. Took you to a pretty dark place.
Beer man doesn't want to talk about that.
Brett Ingham, fluke or phenom. ESPN spotlights this super soft QB to see if he'll slump or soar. Mississippi State versus BYU at 8, Thursday on ESPN.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Coors Non-Alcoholic. It's the taste that keeps designated drivers on their game. That's Coors Non-Alcoholic. And by Nissan, Driven. Part of the Walk of Champions, which we showed you earlier in the open. 11-play drive, 80 yards, using 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Lee Rogers to kick it off again for Ole Miss. Robinson and Carter, the two deep men. More distance on this kick, and it will come down to Carter. Comes through an opening across the 20 and out to the 25. Nice job on the Auburn special teams as Wes Scott makes the tackle.
Ron, here's Deuce McAllister, and that's Creighton right there in the best corner. Now here's Hurd, and he's against a linebacker and a safety right there, and they busted. And see, when you have a Deuce McAllister and you take him outside, they got to put the corner on him. But you see the bust right there. Neither the linebacker Lincoln or Rob Pete picked up Grant Hurd. But that's the problems, having a good tailback that has great hands to go outside and to be a receiver.
So Auburn with their second offensive possession from their own 25. Rudy Johnson, maybe a couple. Derek Burgess came down on top of him. Rudy was impressive last week. 174 yards. You know, it's one of those things where the coaches talked about he had some long runs, but they want more consistency out of him. But you know they had to be smiling after 174 yards in one.
The big thing they want him to do is in the third and fourth quarter, be the running back that they can count on to wear people down.
And obviously he's still learning. Here they come with the handoff to Carter. They get him outside. 35 at the 40, still down the sideline, and he's loose. He did not. Yes, he did. There's a flag down at the 38-yard line as he will take it the distance, 72 yards. And on the near sideline, the Ole Miss players signaling bring it back. And now another flag has been thrown in the end zone. I think this one is against Ole Miss.
Well, Tim Carter shows you his speed. 10-3 in the 100 meters, 4.240. Auburn coaches talked all week about getting the ball in his hands, and this one's going to come back. Fine run by Tim Carter.
They say he could be the fastest receiver in the conference.
They think he's the most talented player on this football team, which says a lot.
Well, obviously, we can't hear Bill Goss, but it's going to be holding from the spot of where that happened. Then a dead ball foul. They will go back 15 more yards. So Auburn doesn't get a 72-yard touchdown, but they'll wind up with a gain on the play.
I don't see the hold. The receiver's got his hands out, but then that's probably the call there. It didn't seem like he had a hold of anything. And there's the personal foul.
Shane Elam is the man who walked up and started jawing.
Said, I can't catch you, but I got you now.
Well, look where his vantage point is now.
He's going to have a view from the sideline.
Yeah. Coach Cutcliffe says, you come over here and jaw at me because I'm going to jaw at you some more. First down, Auburn from their own 44-yard line. Johnson's got a big opening this time. Crosses the 50, inside the 45, and he's down near the 44. Seneca Taylor had to come up and take his legs out from under him. It's good for 13.
112th in Division I running the football last year. So Auburn fans are really happy with Rudy Johnson because he gives them a running game. And the entire team, the offensive line, the quarterbacks, the running backs, they're all happy he's there at Auburn because now they have a legitimate running chance.
Rudy Johnson now 3 carries for 19 yards. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in his opening quarter. Ole Miss scored on the opening drive thanks to a roughing the kicker penalty. They went 80 yards to go up 7-0. But now the Tigers are driving on their second offensive possession. Johnson again breaks by 1 tackle, hit at the 40, and it's still going to be about 4 yards in the play. A nice surge from the offensive line.
Ron, what I was talking about last year in 1999, they averaged 68 yards run the football. That's tough on quarterbacks because all of it falls on you. Averaged 1.9 yard per carry per rush. So Rudy Johnson is he's
a welcome guy.
He's famous. He gives them a running threat.
3 wide receivers come out to the left, bottom of your screen. Laird from the shotgun. Got a man wide open at the 20-yard line. That's Johnson. Somebody blew a coverage on the running back, and he goes inside the 15 and down to the 12. It's good for 29 yards. Kevin Thomas on the tackle.
Ron, what Auburn's doing is the same thing that Ole Miss did with Deuce. They bring Rudy Johnson out, but this was a quick screen, fake quick screen that they're going to try to throw here. Here's what's going to happen right now as the snap comes. Wide receiver's going to come inside. Now, everybody plays the screen, and there's Rudy Johnson up here wide open. Sean Johnson missed it.
Keith Evans, the lone setback. 2 tight ends for the Auburn Tigers. He gets the ball. Evans right up the middle, breaks it inside the 5, and he's down to the 3. Jesse Mitchell took his feet out from under him, but Keith Evans, who is 6 feet, 250 pounds, proves he not only is a good blocker, he is a tough runner to bring down.
And this is the kind of game we're going to have tonight. Both defenses, and I say suspect, because they haven't proven themselves yet. Both offenses feel they can run the football, throw the football, and so we should have, according to that, a high-scoring football game.
We talked in terms of something like maybe 35-31 or 31-28. Second down. They take it back inside, and Johnson at the 1-foot line, and the officials say, nope, he did not get in.
Tommy Tuberville did a smart thing. Rudy Johnson was playing in junior college last year, and he had Eddie Grand, the running back coach, recruiting him. And Eddie Grand told him, he said, if you come to Auburn, it was down to Auburn in Colorado. He said, you'll be my running back. He said, I'm the running back coach. You'll be my guy. And he said when he told him it favored Auburn, and here he is.
Tigers trying to tie this one up as you look at Rudy Johnson, the man at the top of the eye. Laird straight ahead with the quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Auburn. 8 plays, 75 yards behind the center, Ben Nowlin. So an Ole Miss drive of 80, and now Auburn comes back with a drive of 75, so the offense is getting on the right page, the same page.
Exactly what we thought.
The ball with the extra point attempt, and he knocks it home.
And the extra point is good. The score, Auburn 7.
Big drive for Rudy Johnson, 174 yards last week, and on this pass, got into the Rebel secondary. We're tied at 7.
By land.
He will succeed. He's the best we have.
By sea.
He can push himself harder, longer than any normal man.
By air. Always have an escape plan. He's always in his element.
Who are you?
Pierce Brosnan is James Bond. Can Can't you just say hello like a normal person?
The World Is Not Enough. Rated PG-13.
Generations of fans enthralled over a national obsession. And you can be a part of it. Seize the moment with week-by-week coverage of the English Premier League live on pay-per-view.
Hello, I'm Tom Jackson, analyst on NFL Primetime, where we follow 4 golden rules. 1, never use computer enhancement to improve highlights. 2, never say the Redskins are playing the Cowboys when they're playing the Giants. And 4, never hold back the best highlights just to spite the audience. Because at ESPN, we always play by the rules.
NFL Primetime, Sundays at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Well, just what we thought might happen in this football game. First quarter, and we are tied at 7 apiece. Still 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. Warm evening, but not nearly as hot as it was here last week when Ole Miss played Tulane. And down on the field, it was around 112, 113 degrees. But the players talking with the coaches on the sideline and taking advantage of the fans that are provided there. Williams and McAllister, the 2 deep men for Ole Miss. Damon Duvall to kick it off. Last week against Wyoming, he kicked it out of the end zone, and here's an onside kick. It is loose and live, and Auburn has got it. Spencer Johnson.
I like the style. You let it all loose. Here, this is the first SEC ball game for both these teams. You let it all hang out. Onside kick, and you look at the tapes, Ron, and you watch the front line, and if they lead before the kicker kicks the ball, that's when you go after them.
Philadelphia opened their game this week.
John Harbaugh, the special teams coach there.
And he pulled a good onside kick. He said he noticed the 2 guys on that side turned their heads immediately when the ball was touched. So Auburn at the Ole Miss 37-yard line. Johnson hit in the hole, but still he fights forward to 3, maybe 4 yards. Kevin Thomas making the tackle on him.
You talked about it in the lineups about Eddie Strong not being in there. I know that he's hurt from day to day for him, but it's a big loss because not only do you lose a good football player, but the leader and the heart of the defense, he's not in there.
And Eddie Strong is one of those guys at like 6'3", 250, who is just what his name implies. He is extremely strong and tough against the run. This time they stretch it out. Hit by one tackler, breaks off of it, and he's going to take it down close to the 25. That's enough for another Auburn first down, as Rudy Johnson has been the story so far.
Ron, here's what they're missing in the middle linebacker, Eddie Strong, number 1. That kind of hit, but that kind of leadership on the field. He'll shock you when he tackles you. And David Cutcliffe said, hey, I don't want to take a chance. I don't want to lose him for the whole year.
Yeah. Now Rudy Johnson now 7 carries, 36 yards. He goes out. Heath Evans will be the only setback, and Auburn has called a timeout. So let's take it with them. 3:03 to play, opening quarter, tied at 7.
How do so many of our employees around the world find the energy to coach children while still holding down a full-time job? Perhaps it's because finding energy is their full-time job. These are the men and women of Texaco, a proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team.
Everybody knows it's smarter to buy in bulk, even long distance.
Thank you.
Now you can get 1,000 minutes of nighttime calling for just $20.
That's a big block of talk.
And you won't have to strap it to your minivan. Switch to Sprint at 1-800-PEN-DROP. Call now and get free internet call waiting. And never miss another call when you're online.
Tied at 7, onside kick by Auburn, caught Ole Miss off guard. And they've recovered it, have picked up a first down, and have the ball at the Ole Miss 25-yard line. Eddie Strong, we talked about him and what Ole Miss loses by not having him in the lineup. And you know that's tough, Mike. You can't help your team.
Hard.
Green in motion. They keep it on the ground straight up the middle with Evans, though, and he'll go to the 20-yard line. Kevin Thomas again making the tackle. Right now, Mike, in the last 10 snaps that Auburn has run the ball, they're averaging it. They're getting at least 5 yards per carry.
And I'll tell you what I'm thinking up here now is that Ben Laird play-action pass is going to be there as soon as he wants to choose to use it because his offensive line's having their way.
2 wide receivers to the top of the screen, which is the right. Quick pass. Green breaks off a tackle, breaks off another tackle. It's going to be first and goal inside the 10-yard line. Kenny Woods on the stop, but it's good for 12. And David Cutcliffe has got to be beside himself on the sideline because they have missed a lot of tackles.
And what's happening here, Ron, is you look at the 2 receivers right out here. DeAndre Green, they're giving him too much of a cushion. You get one decent block, and all of a sudden he's 10 yards down the field. DeAndre Green with a good reception, a good run after the catch. But that's what happens when you're running the ball so well. Then all of a sudden you give away coverage to get somebody else in the box.
They're now 4 or 5, 55 yards. Rudy Johnson, blocker in front. Cuts it inside the 5, and he will score. Heath Evans with the key block to get him in the end zone, and just like that, Auburn converts an onside kick into a touchdown lead.
Well, the onside kick, what that does to your football team, it tells you you're attacking. You're after the opponent, and I like the call. It results in 7 points.
Damon Duvall with the extra point try. So Auburn goes on top, 14-7. 5 plays, 37 yards, using 1 minute and 57 seconds.
Heath Evans, you talked about his block. He's coming out here, and watch number 44 because they get a little penetration. He shields Kevin Thomas, and that gives the corner to Rudy Johnson. Then he uses his power to get in the end zone. Now, Ben Laird has to be real happy about the way this game's going because it sets up his style of play-action passing. Here's the onside kick, and Ole Miss just let it go too far down the field and didn't handle it cleanly.
You know, Johnson, and watching him now in person, got to see him on tape in last week's game. But, Mike, he appears to be one of those guys that you better get some kind of contact on him either in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage, because once he squares his shoulders, his center of gravity doesn't look like he's running that fast, but he's covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, and they're bouncing off to him. Ole Miss has missed a lot of tackles in this first quarter, but Rudy Johnson makes you pay.
Duvall with the kick. Going to go 5 yards deep in the end zone, and no opportunity for Deuce McAllister to make the return. And let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
Ron, it's the dreaded sandwich game for UCLA. After Alabama, before Michigan against Fresno State, and Fresno on the board. David Carr finding Alec Greco from 4 yards out, and UCLA down 7-0, but I think they were last week too. Halftime, the mighty Gators on top of MTSU, 38-0.
Back there at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss looked a little shell-shocked on that last defensive stand. The onside kick really caught them off guard. will be it. Later tonight on ESPN2, number 21 Illinois heads west to take on the Aztecs of San Diego State. That game is coming up at 10 Eastern, immediately following our game here in Oxford. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Joe Gunn, number 28, junior out of Amory, who is an outstanding running back, checks in at tailback, replacing McAllister. Stackhouse is now the fullback, number 45. They throw back the screen, and that ball, was that tipped at the line of scrimmage? Torber got a hand on it.
And Romero Miller has to settle down a little bit around. I think your point is well taken. They, ever since the onside kick, they look like they defensively they're back on their heels. Now they come out on offense, and Romero Miller has to settle them down. 16, 8, and 8 as a starter, so he's a veteran.
McAllister comes back into the lineup. From the shotgun, drills it over the middle, and the receiver did not turn around. L.J. Taylor, had he turned around, he was streaking in front of the coverage.
Bad series. L.J. Taylor wide open. Romero Miller's going to try to get him the football in the post route. You can see the window of opportunity right there, but
wow,
they didn't have the same play.
If he turns around and cuts inside, he might still be running. Reagan King with his second punt, actually first because he was roughed on the initial punt, and they're coming after him. Very high, good coverage.
They hit him again. They hit him again.
Flag is down as he got banged, and Robinson on the fair catch.
I think this is going to be a 5-yard one here, Ron. And I could be wrong, but it looks like it's Michael Owens, a fullback. We'll see what he calls. No, they're going to get him with a 15-yard.
Another personal foul, so officially, Reagan King hasn't punted tonight.
No, that's the best play.
But he's been hit as much as some running backs.
Yeah, Michael Owens, number 21, will run into him. When you block a punt, you cannot put your head down like Michael Owens did right there. You can't leave your feet. Two big mistakes by Auburn special teams.
Well, it cost them a touchdown, the opening drive by Ole Miss, and let's see if right here this helps settle down the Rebels just a little bit.
And this might be what just what Ole Miss needs.
5 penalties, 54 yards against Auburn, 1 against Ole Miss for 16 yards. Play action to McAllister. Drilled it out in the flat, open is Armstrong, but boy, he held on to that for a long time. Armstrong was open.
You know, when I looked at Auburn, and here's what's missing from their defense last year, Ron. They played pretty good defense. 54% of the tackles, guys are gone. 24.5 of the 31 quarterback sacks they had last year, gone. 81 of the 91 quarterback hurries, gone. This is a young defense by John Lovett, especially the front.
Pitch goes to McAllister. Tries to turn the corner. He does. Takes it over midfield, and it'll be an Ole Miss first down. Alton Moore hanging on to him, and that's interesting, that play. They bring Flo to the other side, flip it back, and they say, okay, we'll put him against a cornerback. Yeah. We think the odds are
great.
Good.
Play. It's a misdirection play that all of a sudden you got Deuce out in space against a guy that has to make a tackle, a corner, a linebacker. This is important for Auburn's defense against Ole Miss. Ole Miss trying to cash in again on the mistake of the special teams.
McAllister 7 carries, 37 yards. Under 1 minute left to play in his opening quarter. Short drop, quick pass, and complete at the 45 to Taylor.
Rodney Creighton on the tackle. I like both these corners for Auburn. They allow you to do a lot of things. John Lovett has the flexibility to do a lot of things in its defense because of number 10, Rodney Creighton, and number 24, Larry Kasher. They're two of the best corners in the SEC.
Justin Sawyer comes in at tight end, and I don't think they're going to get this one off. 6 seconds down to 5 will be had left in this opening quarter. 3, 2, 1. Well, whistle blows, and that is the end of the first 15 minutes of play.
They should have listened to you.
So let's take a timeout. From Oxford, Mississippi, it is Ole Miss 7 and the Auburn Tigers 14. We'll be right back.
ESPN's 2-Minute Drill, premiering September 11th.
Have you got the answer?
Frost brewed Coors Light. Nice choice.
Thanks.
Nothing like some ice cold Rocky Mountain perfection to wet your whistle.
Yeah, you sure know a lot about beer. Come here often?
I haven't missed a game yet.
Really? Whoa. Could this get any better? Wow.
You're spilling your beer.
She's a beer man.
Your beer.
Whoa.
My pickup busted, my marriage rusted. She sent me on my way. I need some help to get me through my day. Life is tough, but I got my stuff and my dog, so I'm okay. I need some help to get me through my day.
Tender and satisfying pemmican beef jerky.
Pack your pemmican and you'll survive the day.
The Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Presenting the ultimate tire for your 4x4, the Michelin LTX. Michelin technology gives it a smooth, quiet ride. Yet it's tough enough, Michelin enough to get you through anything.
Buy 4 Michelin tires now and get a free emergency roadside kit. And you'll be eligible to enter the Buy 4 and Score sweepstakes with chances to win a BMW X5 and an iMac computer or other great prizes. See your participating Michelin dealer by October 31st.
Tom Green here at Muscle Beach with some big, tough weightlifters. We're going to show how new Right Guard Extreme Sport works even under the most extreme conditions. Back, stop! Run! Oh no, the kid is going to get you! He got ya! Look, extreme protection against odor and wetness. Goes on clear and it doesn't quit.
New Right Guard Extreme Sport. Get extreme. Get Right Guard.
Ouch.
14-7, Auburn leads it as we start the second quarter. First period, Auburn 123 yards, Ole Miss 86.
Ron, Ole Miss has lost the last 7 SEC openers, 6 to Auburn. That's importance in this game.
Waited for the block that time, and a good job of pursuit again by Auburn as Callier and Pounds combining on the stop. Adrian, what do you got for us?
The entire Auburn defense sat down together as a group this afternoon, Ron, and watched with their defensive coaching staff. They watched the Notre Dame-Nebraska game, and they said, when we see Deuce McAllister tonight, what we cannot afford to do is what Notre Dame is doing against the quarterback, Eric Crouch. The reason the pros love these two so much, both Heisman Trophy candidates, is because they stay up after the first hit. If you're going to contain Crouch or McAllister in this case, wrap up the first hit, bring him down. Don't allow the next 3 or 4 yards.
Third down, you see them creeping up in the middle, but they stay at home. Miller throws his pass incomplete at the 34-yard line. It was intended for Hurd, who caught the first touchdown pass of the night.
Yeah, way off the mark.
So Reagan King with his first punt of the night. He said, no, he has punted twice.
He's sore.
Officially,
he's been hit twice.
That's right, he's been hit twice.
Didn't have any action yet.
And Pooch kicks this one, trying to kick it to the near side. It's going to go dead. Takes an Ole Miss bounce, so to speak, as it just held up. And they will down it at the 2-yard line. Well, tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern, it's ESPN Sunday Night NFL. Emmitt Smith and the Dallas Cowboys take on Jake Plummer, the Arizona Cardinals. Then ABC's Monday Night Football, AFC East showdown. Vinny Testaverde and the New York Jets face off against Drew Bledsoe and the New England Patriots. ESPN and ABC, your home for primetime NFL football.
Ron, a lot of teams like this position on the field offensively to throw the football. Air it out right here.
Tim Carter comes to the bottom of your screen. Now he's the speedster that we talked about back in the first quarter. Better keep an eye on him. And that's who they're trying to go to. He faked running a quick out and then took it up on a fly pattern.
Yeah, it's an out and up. And again, people like to, when you're back down there inside the 5, why not take a chance and go for the home run? That's exactly what Ben Laird tried to do there, but good coverage by Ken Lucas. Ken Lucas knocked Tim Carter out of bounds.
Good coverage play, yep. Noel Mazzoni, who was here on the staff at Ole Miss, now the offensive coordinator for the Auburn Tigers, pacing the sidelines. In the backfield, and the offensive line does their job. They're going to pick up a couple of yards. Jesse Mitchell on the stop. You could see penetration, but still Auburn picks up a couple, and it's going to be a third down situation. It's still on.
Ron, Noel Mazzoni had been here at Ole Miss, and he worked with Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator, so they know each other. They sat in the office. They talked about what's good against your offense, what's good against your defense. So it's a chess game between those two tonight.
We'll find out who has tendencies that are,
without a doubt,
that they will change. Laird stepping up. Drills his pass over the middle, took it and almost intercepted. Kenny Woods, as he threw a very dangerous pass very high to Tim Carter, and Tim is only about 6 feet tall.
Ron, this is a mistake by Ben Laird. He never really settled his feet down, and the ball took off on him. And that's what, I believe that's what Noel Mazzoni's telling him, is hang in there and get set before you throw, because he was moving.
So McAllister back deep, and Duvall really, unless he kicks it out of bounds, doesn't have much choice. Going to have to kick it to number 22. And that's what the crowd is buzzing about. Flag is down. Good coverage kick. Very high. McAllister does not signal for a fair catch and is tackled at the 50-yard line by Rashad Walker. 45 yards in the kick and 2 on the return, and a very dangerous reception on the part of McAllister.
Going to be against Auburn. Not bring him back, make him kick it again. You got good field position there, but you got a chance for Deuce to hit a home run here.
This is interesting. We talk every year early in the season, special teams and what they do. 2 roughing the kickers on the part of Auburn. It's cost them a touchdown, an onside kick that Ole Miss was not ready for. Cost them a touchdown. So special teams, again, the bugaboo.
It's big early in the year. Eddie Grant, who runs the special teams, took over for Joe Panunzio, who's now at Murray State as the head coach. But where you have a problem here, Ron, is you've got a chance now. Deuce McAllister gets another shot against your special teams.
Biggest thing right here, you got to make sure against a guy like this that you kick it high. A line drive, and you're in a lot of trouble.
Line drive, you can get the band ready.
And that's exactly what he kicked. Line drive, McAllister on the run. Hit from behind as he goes inside the 40-yard line, and it's Robinson on the tackle. So this time 43 yards in the kick and 8 on the return. And let's check in again with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Well, Ron, again tonight you can log on, actually get on your computer right now as we speak, and offer suggestions for reports that I could actually cover during this football game. Here's the situation. Go on to ESPN.com At the key word, go Ask Adrian. Had some great suggestions throughout the week. They wanted me to celebrate in the Grove, which we may do later in the game. Some suggestions from all over the country suggest I do a few things with Coach Tommy Tuberville, some I can't even mention on the air. But, Ron, you can go online, ESPN.com, Ask Adrian. I'll have more for you later on.
Okay, we look forward to it, Adrian. McAllister, they move him out of the backfield, and Miller going to go on top. The man just overthrown, and it was McAllister as they took him out of the backfield. He scored against Tulane last weekend, and guess what? Romero told me at practice on Thursday, pass was not intended for him. He overthrew Hurd, and McAllister ran under it.
Here's the adjustment, Ron, that all of a sudden Auburn makes now. You see Deuce McAllister come out, and now Pate is on him, the strong safety. So he ran right by Rob Pate. And you'll see that again. Now, you'll see that play. Ole Miss will log that.
Joe Gunn comes in at tailback. He gets the handoff, tries to squirm his way for some distance at right guard. There's just nothing there. And let's check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Ron, UCLA has answered Fresno State. Ryan McCann in their quarterback after Corey Pauls was hurt a week ago. And looking for Freddie Mitchell, threads it in there nicely, 20 yards out, and the 17th-ranked Bruins have it tied at 7.
Our situation, 14-7. Auburn on top as the clock is about to go under 12 minutes left in the opening half. And for Ole Miss, 3rd and 10.
Ole Miss did a great job last week against Tulane with screen passes.
Yeah, in fact, it was Cord Sanford who scored on a long screen pass. Let's see if they dial that one up, Mike. Miller gonna be sacked. First time they've gotten to him, but it's way back at the 50-yard line, and it's Courtney Rose that they brought on the blitz.
John Lovett has to feel good about the pressure. Courtney Rose comes all the way from center field. They don't pick it up. Romero Miller doesn't read it. Sack.
Reagan King. Very high kick. Robinson signals for the fair catch and makes it just inside the 8-yard line. 41 yards in the kick, nothing on the return.
Reagan King is doing his job.
So let's take a timeout. 11:25 left in this opening half. Tigers by 7.
In the world we're born into, being smart doesn't necessarily make you a financial success. Neither does being pretty, neither does being talented. There are brilliant failures and there are successful zeros. Having money isn't a matter of good or bad. Having money is a matter of putting your money in a better place. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
We got movement. Go, go, go! Hang on, Light.
The next generation Subaru Outback comes standard with full-time all-wheel drive.
There it is! Over there!
It delivers incredible traction and control.
Oh, I see it!
So you can always be ready to face the unknown.
Did you see the size of that thing?
Yeah. They're kind of cute when they're babies.
Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon from Subaru.
America still has a frontier. San Francisco. Pretty amazing place. Especially for a MetLife financial professional.
So you recommend mutual funds?
I do. It's a great way to save. When America moved west, MetLife invested in railroads, telephone, and electric lines. We helped connect the country. That's MetLife. Pull a 401k up on the screen. I work with people who work in the future. If it's going to happen here first.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Subaru. Visit us at Subaru.com to see our full line of all-wheel drive vehicles. And by MetLife. For mutual funds, annuities, and insurance, get Met. It pays. Welcome back to Oxford, Mississippi. Ron Franklin, along with Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten, and a superb ESPN2 crew. In fact, it's our normal group, the regular 55 here on Saturday night. These guys do a great job. Rudy runs so far, 9 carries, 46 yards, 3 to the left, 4 in the middle, and 2 to the right. Laird turns around and hands it to Johnson. Has 5, has 10, 15, still on his feet, 20, and now 25 yards on the carry. Justin Coleman makes the tackle.
Yeah, Noel Mazzoni's going to go to 2 tight ends now. He's having his way with this front. The offensive line, watch them come off the ball. And now you see the little hole cutback lane right there for Rudy Johnson because they're getting movement off the ball. They're knocking the defensive front off the football. That's a load in the secondary.
Amzie Williams can only flag at him, grabbed at his jersey, and that was it. So they're out of the hole in a hurry with a first down at the 34-yard line. This time, hit in the backfield and knocked down for a loss is Gothi. Lanier Gothi, who has moved into that middle linebacker spot, replacing Strong and replacing Amzie Williams also, and he's there to make the stop for a loss.
Ron, who made that play was Anthony Sims. He got penetration on the Auburn offensive line. Now you got to be aware of the tight ends, Lorenzo Diamond and Robert Johnson.
Johnson, a great-looking freshman out of Montgomery. Here comes the blitz. Gets his pass away, got single coverage, and it is complete at the 40. And Willis, is pushed out of bounds. I'm going to say at the 30-yard line, but it's good for 39 yards. And Auburn right now chewing up huge chunks of real estate.
Anytime your corners are going to go up there and press the wide receiver, whatever the route is, the outside route, it turns into a fade. Marcel Willis with a good catch against Justin Coleman. Now they're trying Coleman. They're staying away from the other corner, Ken Lucas. Boy, it's great concentration on that play by Marcel Willis.
Flags everywhere. Robert Johnson, the freshman I was just talking about, came out of his stance too quickly.
Ron, I don't know when this is going to happen, but when you have 2 tight ends like this, they will be important.
False start on the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Auburn will fake the run and go to these 2 tight ends. Now, they're not going to do it on this play because they'll be on the sideline, but Diamond's still in the ball game, 49.
You know, Auburn has already had 6 plays of 10 yards or better. Laird from the shotgun. Pressure. Broke through, missed the tackle. Got his pass away, and the jump ball incomplete at the 10. Lorenzo Diamond, the big tight end, is who he wanted Seneca Taylor covering.
He had time. If he would have had time, he'd have had a touchdown, but Ole Miss, Elam put some pressure on him. Shane Elam, number 59. So again, Ben Laird wasn't able to set his feet to make that throw.
Ben Laird this summer went to a football camp and roomed with Romero Miller. And the 2 quarterbacks of these 2 teams have become very close. And they talk to each other. And I'll tell you what happened night before last. All the time in the world, gets his pass, throws it short into the ground. Worthy is the man that he wanted. Romero said, yeah, we have become very good friends. I really like the guy. And so Ben had called him on Wednesday, missed him. Romero called him back, and I said, well, what did you guys talk about? He said, you know, really, this conversation was a little tough because he didn't want to say anything, and I obviously didn't want to say anything. But he said, I have a lot of respect for Ben Laird, and he said he's really a top-notch fella.
They roomed together at Peyton Manning's camp.
Yeah, Peyton Manning's camp. Third down, line to make is the 20.5-yard line. Tip, almost intercepted at the 20-yard line. Lucas got a hand on it.
Whistle before the play, Ron.
I thought the 25-second clock had gone. Yeah, you know, we need to do a simple thing. Put a horn. Seriously, put a horn in college football on the big speaker, and the minute the 25-second clock goes out, because there's such a din in many stadiums, it's hard on the officials. And they get the finger pointed at them, just have the horn go off.
Some of these stadiums, I don't know if you'd hear it, though. You better have a foghorn.
Well, I mean, as loud as the PA guy
is. There's the horn. They already put it up.
3rd down and 20. Pass over here on the near side. Made the catch as the defensive back gambled, and boy, if Worthy doesn't fall down, he turns around and takes it in for a touchdown. It was Lucas who gambled.
Another flag down. This may be a late hit on the quarterback.
Okay, Bill, what's the decision?
Personal foul, roughing the passer. On the defense. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run.
David Cutcliffe. I can guarantee you, David Cutcliffe and Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator, right now are just livid. They had a 3rd down and 20 situation, and now Auburn with a 1st down.
Looked like Goethe. And then Lucas going for the interception. A lot of penalties in this football game.
So the new line of scrimmage is the 14-yard line. 8 penalties, Auburn, 2 against Ole Miss. This last one, we'll see if it cost him a touchdown. Johnson bounces it outside. Going to have about 6, maybe 7 yards. Coleman is the man who finally pushed him out.
I'm impressed with Rudy Johnson because he's got his head on a swivel. You saw him earlier cut back against the grain. Now he feels on that play there's nothing inside, so he breaks it outside. Good vision by the back. And a lot of people wonder whether he's just a tackle to tackle back. I can tell you right now, he's not.
Ball is spotted at the 6-yard line. Diamond and Johnson check in as the 2 tight ends for the Tigers. They give it to Heath Evans, the fullback, and he will score. House of Ole Miss fans have gone very silent as the Tigers have struck again after a mistake of roughing the passer. Took the ball over and pushed it into the end zone and the ball to the extra point, and with 9:16 left until halftime, our new score is Auburn 21 and Ole Miss 7.
The Outback has finally come to town. Introducing the Subaru Outback Sedan. A completely new kind of car that combines the rugged traction and control of full-time all-wheel drive with a decidedly uptown look.
My kind of town.
Outback Sedan, yet another first from Subaru.
Crossing. It's what happens when the most robust global network meets the richest content to take your business anywhere on the planet. Global Crossing. The ability to reach the world. The capacity to change it.
Long easy 316 Delta Bravo, flight at 2, 5 North Carolina.
They get hired by companies like AT&T, GE, and Ford. They get training in over 200 real-world jobs. And they get it in the Army. That's right, the Army.
Southern Miss's Derek Nix takes on the tie at the electrifying Freddie Miller. Southern Miss versus Alabama at 9, next Saturday on ESPN2.
21-7, Auburn on top. And of course here in Oxford, the home of William Faulkner. This is Roanoke. And on the other side of town, now the home of John Grisham. As you look at Faulkner's home right there and the huge cedars, there's John Grisham's home. Lover of baseball, he's got a Little League baseball park on that ranch. And Square Books, what used to be Blaylock's Drugs here in Oxford, has been converted into Square Books. Mr. Gresham known from time to time to come down and autograph his new books. 21-7, a 14-point margin, and right now Ole Miss has got to get their focus back in this ball game, or the Auburn Tigers are going to put too much distance between them early on. Duvall, just as we mentioned last week against Wyoming, he was a weapon, and McAllister unable to return the ball.
Yeah, he's doing his part, Ron. He had a punt where he punted the ball out of the end zone. He's had 2 kickoffs out of the end zone, so he's keeping the ball away from Deuce McAllister. So he's doing what they need him to do.
Right now, if you're David Cutcliffe, what do you do to get Ole Miss going in this ball game?
Got to find a way to run the football. Romero Miller's got to settle down. You got to get him in some kind of rhythm where he has success.
You see Auburn stimming on defense, and then they go with like 8 men in the middle, and the tackle broken by Stackhouse. Stackhouse is loose at the 40 to midfield, and they crossed him up as everybody was looking for McAllister, and Stackhouse takes it for 30.
Yeah, Ron, you got to run the football. You got to take a little pressure off Romero Miller, and everybody's waiting for Deuce McAllister. Charles Stackhouse slips there in the little belly play. Runs over the umpire. Watch the umpire here. He goes down. He got clipped. And then Stackhouse out to the outside, and then Simmons finally makes the play.
Stackhouse, a junior out of West Memphis, Arkansas. Here comes McAllister. Dances up into the hole, and he breaks it out. And now McAllister with a run of double figures there, and Stanford Simmons makes the tackle. The coaches worked this week on running, and they said they were going to run the football. They were angry with themselves for not trying to run it more against Tulane. And if it works like this, great strategy.
Well, the offensive line now, you challenge them. They need to block this front of Auburn's. It's questionable defense. Nobody has said Auburn's got a great defense yet, so run the football.
Play action to McAllister. Miller gonna go deep, and this one just heard the closest guy to it, but it was well overthrown as Robinson was the closest fellow to it.
As we prepared for this football game, and we talked to both coaches and talked to some players, Ole Miss players, and they can say what they want to, but they're going to get caught up in Tuberville coming back here. The coaches get, but the one group that's not caught up in it is the Auburn players, because they're not a part of it. So I think more pressure on Ole Miss in tonight's football game. That's why it looks like Auburn playing a little bit more relaxed.
Well, this time McAllister is split out top of your screen. Gonna have to hurry and barely got it off. Quick pass. Taylor, and the little guy spins away from one tackler and is gonna have the first down. Mark Brown making the stop. Taylor is only 5'7", 160 pounds. You got to have a lot of guts to play Division I football at that size, Mike Gottfried.
Either that or you got to be fast. He made some nice moves there.
Yeah, he did. I think he's got both. I think he's fast and he's got a lot of guts. Taylor, 3 catches, 23 yards. McAllister is loose, and he breaks the tackle. He'll score. 26 yards. David Cutcliffe has got to be sighing a huge sigh of relief because they needed that one right there.
That's how you get back in a football game. Running the football, turning it over to your All-American running back, Deuce McAllister.
Binkley with the extra point attempt, trying to draw the Rebels back to within 7. Pushed it a little bit, but it's good. 7 minutes, 39 seconds left until halftime, and already we've had 35 points scored as the Deuce gets loose and into the end zone. We'll be right back.
Time magazine calls the talented Mr. Ripley sumptuous and intelligent. Rolling Stone raves it gets under your skin. Newsweek calls it wonderfully seductive. From Anthony Mangala, the director of The English Patient. Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Kate Blanchett.
I always thought it'd be better to be a fake somebody than a real nobody.
The talented Mr. Ripley.
Stars Family. The first and only movie channel showing 100% family movies is here.
The war is over.
Always family movies.
That's what I call high-quality A2.
Always commercial-free.
I'm a player. I'm a junk.
Never R-rated.
I love sushi.
I love Lucy. Stars Family. #1 in family movies.
Just one of the channels in the Stars Encore Super Pack. All 8 channels are available with the Dish 500 system.
Sports fans, you're looking live at the Garage Invitational as Stoney steps to the green.
Swing!
Oh, it's a nice swing there, Alice.
Yeah, does your husband play?
Consolation prize. Thank you so much.
I'm going to shoot lefty, guys. But you can't hit right.
Oh, this will be fun.
Come on, Mrs. Groundskeeper's going to be coming home soon. We got to get out of here.
All right.
Easy, guys. Give me the club.
Rain delay, Ice House style. Because sometimes all you need is a smooth, never watered down taste of Ice House. Enjoy.
So the Tiger lead is cut to 7, and that is the 26th rushing touchdown of Deuce's career. And it breaks the career record of 25 set by Archie Manning, 1968 through 1970. So some pretty good company. And there's Eli Manning, Archie's #3 son. He is a redshirt freshman and in fact played a couple of series last week against Tulane. The 1-yard line, this is Robinson. Looking for the crease, tackled as he crosses the 20. And a reminder that next Saturday on ESPN, College Game Day at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by a Pac-10 Big Ten shootout as Cal meets #21 Illinois. Then in primetime, LSU's first SEC game under their new head coach Nick Saban as they head to the Plains to take on Auburn. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet.
Ron, you realize that Auburn hasn't won a SEC home game in 2 years? 0-4 in 98, 0-4 in 99.
Now the crowd is back in this one. They were stunned, just like the Rebel football team for a bit. And now a timeout has been called. So we'll take the break with them. 7.5 minutes left until halftime. Tommy Tuberville looks on, and they get an extra receiver on the field. We'll be right back.
Auburn University researchers have designed and patented a microchip that will enable airbag systems to react 1,000 times faster during an accident, making them smarter, more reliable, and most importantly, safer.
Here's some food for thought. A little bit of guidance from the citizenship through Sports Alliance. When you're on the field, keep one thing in check. Be a good sport and focus on respect. Respect? That's right. Ain't it a trip? It's all about teamwork and sportsmanship. When you're on the court, use your intellect and be a good sport. Focus on respect.
I'm Ced Dempsey, president of the NCAA, and I want you to focus on respect.
21-14, and Auburn comes back to the line of scrimmage. This time Carter knows where he's supposed to line up. And they hand it off to him on the sweep. This is the one that he scored on, and they called it back, and he's loose in the secondary again. He's going to be all the way out to around the 35-yard line. That's good for 12 yards.
Well, both these teams, Tim Carter gives you a running threat, but both these teams have outstanding tailbacks, and this is what they're doing tonight. And we talked about it in the open. Whoever gets the running game going is going to win this football game, and both of them are off to a good start.
Carter, 2 carries, 23 yards now. Counter tray. Johnson hit in the backfield. Sims, number 32, was the first man to get to it.
I'll take it a step further.
And then Hamilton. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I'll take it a step further. The running games, you got to get them going. Now, which quarterback's going to step up? Ben Laird or Romero Miller? Both of them have not played up to their standards. Their standards are high.
Two wide receivers to the left, as you can see, top of your screen. 2nd and 11. Johnson again, hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks off the tackle. It will not get to the 40-yard line. But you know, a guy like this also, when we're doing a game, next week we've got LSU and Auburn. I would like to know, maybe we can get somebody to spot it for us, how many yards he picks up after he gets first contact with it.
He's picked up a lot tonight. Tommy Tuberville and his staff were recruiting the quarterback, Danny Cobb, and they kept noticing Rudy Johnson on the tape, so they went after him hard.
He's got 83 yards now in 14 attempts. 3rd down, line to make is the 45. Pressure up the middle, swings it out to Johnson. Going to be hit and knocked out of bounds, and let's see where they spot it. He got a favorable spot at the 45-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down.
When defensive linebackers drop into zones, sometimes you can get the ball off to Rudy Johnson on the outside, and he gets turned up. He gets those shoulders turned up now. He's a load to bring down.
And Johnson line up in the I formation. It is first down, Tigers, as we're about to go into 5 minutes left until intermission. And off to the left side, breaks it open. Going to have 6, 7, maybe 8 yards in the play. Kevin Thompson will make the tackle.
Number 39, Kevin Thomas of Ole Miss.
Offensive line of Auburn continuing their assault on this front. And Rudy Johnson is just reading the opening, whether it's front side or back side. He'll cut back and take what the defense is going to give him.
When you can gain 7 or 8 yards on first down, boy, what kind of luxury is that? Evans, the lone setback this time. He scored the last Auburn touchdown. Laird to Evans. Spins off the tackler. Now he's going to be gang tackled. And he will whistle it dead. He will have the first down, I believe, as Kenny Woods is the man who made contact with him first.
One of the most popular players on this Auburn team, Heath Evans. Going to measure it.
And they're going to have to bring the sticks from all the way across the way. He's going to pick it up. Yeah, it's maybe a length, just one length at a change. Let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
From the files of ESPN.com, Ask Adrian, young man Alec Pestrosky in Knoxville, Tennessee, wants to know more about Rudy Johnson, number 32, the running back for Auburn. Impressed with him last week. A couple things, Mike, as you can attest to, a junior college transfer, unique in that he was not placed by Auburn or some other college there. So that is to say he was a free agent. Auburn is lucky to have him. They laid claim to him. Secondly, coach gives him a lot of license in that he's given a couple holes that he can pick right or left side. Then he scrapes off whoever he wants to, cuts off, and then makes his yardage that way.
Moore has replaced him at tailback right now, number 22. They'll go straight ahead with the quarterback sneak, and they'll have it. Well, you made the best point of all. The fact that they were recruiting Cobb, the backup quarterback, and that's how they saw Rudy. Otherwise, he'd be somewhere else being a star.
He'd be at Colorado right now. But Rudy Johnson, the other important thing, Adrian, and we talk about junior college players a lot, if they're in your program in spring practice, they help you so much because they learn the offense, and then when the students come back, it's not a big change up for him. So he was there in spring practice, and I think that really got him ready for the season.
Moore again operates a tailback. He gets the handoff right up the middle. Will take it inside the 40. As Ryan Hamilton, number 33, is there to make the stop, a 6'1" sophomore.
Ask Adrian. You know, he's getting a lot of that, but that's a good point about Rudy Johnson, because a lot of people all over the country are going to be asking Adrian and a lot of other people about Rudy Johnson.
Well, certainly any coach in the SEC that has to play Rudy Johnson this year, they may be doing more than asking Adrian. I'm sure they're going to be calling coaches who have already played the Tigers. Laird looking deep, and nice job defensively as Green, the intended receiver. Lucas with the cover, and he just kind of muscled him toward the sideline.
Ben Laird doesn't look comfortable to me. That pass was thrown, and I expect a lot out of Ben Laird, because he has made the most improvement in 1 year from quarterback that I've ever seen. And I credit Noel Mazzoni, because he now is the second-ranked senior quarterback by the pros.
Play of the drive. It started at the 22. Ball is loose. Ole Miss says they have it, but the most important person is Bill Goss, the referee, and he said no, it's going to continue the direction that it is.
Ben Laird wasn't ready for the snap. I don't know if he lifted his foot. After you lift the foot, then you're telling the center you're ready. The center can then center it anytime he wants to. But on that play, it looked like Ben Laird didn't even raise his foot, so that's the center's, Ben Nolan's fault.
They are very, very fortunate that that ball was not recovered by Kenny Jackson, and number 92 was right there all over it. What do you do, Mike? Do you gamble? Do you punt it away and with 1:51 showing on the clock?
It's a good question. I think that Tommy Tuberville's got to decide right here whether he wants to take a shot here, but you don't want to give the ball to Ole Miss.
Don't want to get too
in this
cute.
area.
Nope. And let's check in with Reese Davis while we got this timeout. Reese?
All right, Ron, coming up on the college football tonight, halftime report, nobody's beaten #1 more times than Notre Dame, and the Irish took Nebraska down to the wire. We'll see how that came out. An SEC shocker in Columbia between Georgia and South Carolina. We'll visit with the game day guys. They are in South Bend and enjoyed that Nebraska-Notre Dame game. Rod Gilmore, John Makovic with me in just a few minutes.
Okay, we look forward to that. 7-point ball game here with 1:49 remaining until intermission time. Boy, some shockers around the country today, huh?
Good football games. I watched the Indiana game and NC State, and you talk about a turnaround now late in that ball game. Indiana had that game won, and NC State came back, and really it was a big upset. 12-point lead with about 5 minutes to go, and Indiana couldn't hold it.
Well, it would appear with Damon Duvall lining up in punt formation, it'll be his third if he in fact kicks it. We'll see if Tommy Tuberville has got a trick up his sleeve here. Nobody back to return for Ole Miss. Very high kick, and they're going to try to touch this dead inside the 10, and it is touched dead at the 3-yard line. Robinson on the special teams. Travaris Robinson touched it dead, a 40-yard kick. And let's go once again to Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Well, Ron, you were talking earlier about landmarks here in Oxford, Mississippi. I would like to bring up another landmark, not so much of a literary giant. The boyhood home of Ron Franklin. Moved here from Hazelhurst, Mississippi with his sister and parents when he was a freshman in high school. It's a 5-minute walk from University High after graduation. The man on the right walked another 5 minutes to the SAE house where he graduated the class of '65. 33 football seasons later, the real class of college football found his place on the Ole Miss Alumni Wall of Fame.
Adrian, are you sure that's my house?
Ask Adrian.
Now, you told me that the walls are 3 feet thick, but as we drove by, I could still hear the reverberations the first time you rehearsed. Has 5, has 10, and he will score.
Oh. And there's the picture.
Well, anyway,
got a buckskin coat on there or what?
Yeah, that's... You guys. That house actually was one of the first women's dorms before it was remodeled on this campus. It was like 1860, I think. And he's right, the walls were about 3 feet thick. 1 minute left in the first half, 21-14. And David Cutcliffe, who is so conscious of time management, wants to run this thing out, get in, trailing by 7.
And remember, Auburn spent a lot of timeouts. They have no timeouts left. So this is where you'd like to have some timeouts to try to block the punt and try to make them, force them into a mistake. But they squandered their timeouts early in this football game.
So it's a 3rd down situation. Clock runs at 25, now 24. And as Mike said, the timeout situation. In fact, now the 25-second clock, or did he call it in time?
We got the timeout.
Well, from the executive producer of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire comes ESPN 2-Minute Drill, the ultimate sports fan quiz show hosted by the one and only Kenny Mayne. Watch the premiere this Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern, as contestants go head-to-head against the clock and each other. And for more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.
I always wondered why somebody didn't do that. Guys up here in the press box, they know everything about sports.
Would you be good under pressure situation like that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I wouldn't be a good contestant.
Adrian, you would, wouldn't you?
Just ask him. Ask Adrian.
Ask Adrian.
I don't have the answer to everything, you guys. And that's my final answer.
So on 3rd down now, Miller appears, yep, he's going to take a knee. And the clock runs down, and Auburn can't do anything about it. So we are at halftime. And as they head to the locker room, our score, the Auburn Tigers 21, and the homestanding Ole Miss Rebels 14. Now the college football tonight halftime report. Let's rejoin Reese Davis.
All right, Ron, very entertaining first half. We got through all of the Tommy Tuberville.
You said as we came on the air tonight, you talked about the fact that whoever got the running game going, that was the team that was going to win. They both have gotten it going, but what is the difference? Auburn just a little bit more.
Yeah, I think now, Ron, it's the quarterback, which Ben Laird or Romero Miller, but special teams also played a big part in this first half. You had the 2 punts by Ole Miss. Punter Reagan King gets run into, and that's a 15-yard penalty, and that set up the score. And then Michael Owens, the backup fullback, hits him, and then Tommy Tuberville, the gambler, pulls out a onside kick, and Auburn scored after the onside kick. So special teams, but I still believe one of these 2 quarterbacks is going to get hot.
Well, when you look at these numbers right here, speaking of hot, I would imagine that Coach Cutcliffe was very hot at halftime, giving up 250 first-half yards in your opening conference game. Not a good way to start.
No, and I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments in that front in the second half.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Deuce McAllister is back deep as Duvall prepares to kick it off for the Auburn Tigers. This one is going to be very high, but it is returnable from 2 yards deep. At the 20, 25. McAllister will take it out to the 27-yard line before Tavares Robinson has had an outstanding special teams night. Adrian, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, because of the numbers you just brought up for us, there's going to be a change up front defensively for the Ole Miss Rebels. They have had an attack frame of mind. That is, drive through the man in the shoulder pads in his helmet and get to the backfield. Now, it's been more read and react. Watch where the helmet goes. The theory is that will take you to Rudy Johnson and contain him on the outside. On the Auburn side of the field, they say Ben Millard is not going to be himself until he gets a big play. And remember, he's a quarterback who's allowed to make his own decisions.
Blocker in front. McAllister turns it upfield. Got 10. Counted off at 15 yards. Mark Brown will make the tackle for the Auburn Tigers. But you can see big number 68, Shane Grice, a 307-pound senior out front blocking.
Deuce McAllister, the Ole Miss settled down in the second quarter and went strictly to the running game, and Deuce McAllister started to get hot with that run.
So McAllister moves the sticks. The ball now at the 41.5-yard line. Play action to him. Got it out on the flat quickly, and that was intended for Rayford. And I'll tell you, that was a very quick reaction on the part of Rodney Creighton. He was diving for the football.
Ron, I said all along, I like these two corners because they allow you to do so much, but Rodney Creighton really broke on that football. You figure the run, first down, run, Deuce McAllister, second down, come back with a play action pass. Now you probably come right back with Deuce.
Rushing 93, 27 on the kick returns, punt return 9. Going to throw again, going on top this time, and he has his man. That is Hurd.
Got behind Rodney Creighton on that play. Good play fake by Romero Miller to Deuce McAllister. Grant Hurd got behind Rodney Creighton. Grant Hurd, who was the SEC's top receiver in '98, injured his knee before the Independence Bowl and sat out last year, and he's back. Against 5'8".
That is a big difference when you add leaping ability as well, is it not? McAllister stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He may have a couple. McNeil is down at the bottom of the stack for the Auburn Tigers.
You called his name a lot tonight, DeMarco McNeil. Young guy, redshirt freshman, 6'1", 296.
Leading tacklers in the first half, Alex Lincoln with 5 for Auburn. Boy, Kevin Thomas, he's been too busy. 9 tackles already, 5 solo, and Seneca Taylor with 8 tackles. Lee Jackson checks into the ball game at flanker. Miller, throwback screen, gets the block. That's Taylor, turns it up, and he'll not have enough for the first down. They will stop him just short of the 11-yard line. Creighton and Walker combining on the stop.
When you talk about Rodney Creighton, got burnt the play before, but he really does a good job of getting off this block. You watch him now, he's going to face a big tackle right here, but he gets off the block. That's Terrence Metcalf, but he doesn't let him knock him off his feet. He comes back and makes that tackle.
Metcalf showing you that he has got awfully good feet, but you're right. Nice job of staying on his feet, the defender, and making the tackle rather than giving up a touchdown. Third down, they need about 2. McAllister right up the middle, burst to speed, driving the tackler. First and goal, Ole Miss at the 5. Simmons, he just got him on his chest and rode him backwards.
Last week, he only had 9 rushes versus Tulane for 29 yards. Chris Cefalo and the Tulane staff just boxed it up, said, if you're going to beat us throwing the football. But Deuce McAllister's not going to beat us. But tonight, he's been able to get off the mark in the running game.
Over 100 yards rushing now at an average of almost 7 yards per carry. Miller going to have to hurry. 2 seconds on the play clock. spins. It is McAllister. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards. That's McNeil again, who got an arm out and tripped him up just enough.
And what you want on goal line defense, and that's what they're in right now, is penetration. You want to be able to get in that backfield, either slant inside or outside, but get the running back before he can get started down here, because there's not a lot of room before he hits that pay dirt.
Rayford checks in at wide receiver, number 4. 8th play of the drive. It started back at their own 27-yard line. Fullback. And Stackhouse maybe has a yard, and then that's it. 3rd down.
Last week's ball game against Tulane, they took 4 plays to knock it in from the 2-yard line. Of course, the 4th play was Deuce McAllister over the top. So they know this play. Deuce McAllister can get airborne and go over the top.
David Cutcliffe sending in the play from the sideline. They bring in the 2nd tight end.
I would look for that run. Deuce McAllister going over the top.
Third down and goal. McAllister hit as he tries to go over the top, and he may have lost yards. They are scrambling for the football, but it is going to stay with Ole Miss, and it'll be 4th down.
The only problem when you do it one time against Tulane, the other team sees it too. So Auburn now gets a little penetration. A good job by both linebackers of taking on the blocker. When you go airborne, you got to go 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't get a chance to get up because the fullback, Stackhouse, got knocked off.
Got knocked back into him. That's exactly right. His flight didn't start exactly where he wanted it to. 4th down, and they're going to go for it. The ball is at the 1-yard line, and now Cutcliffe wants a timeout.
Well,
they don't see. Yep. Now Romero Miller sees him. So let's take a break. 10:29 left in this 3rd quarter. Ole Miss on the lip of the cup.
Faster, more reliable, higher quality, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
You think football is fun? Not anymore, though, is it?
Zero fun, sir.
All right. You got anger, that's good.
And I don't need you up on my face.
You got aggression, that's even better.
Get up!
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You don't let nothing come between us.
We're going to change the way we run. Change the way we block. Change the way we win. We are changed.
Remember the Titans. Rated PG. Starts September 29th.
For years, Honda engineers have developed the ultimate in racing technology. Innovations that have brought them manufacturers' championships, the respect of the entire racing world, and of course, groupies. Fortunately, this same technology goes into every Honda we build.
This is life. But don't let it interfere with your driving. Monsoon audio systems in the Volkswagen Golf. Drive drenched in sound.
Welcome back to Oxford, Mississippi. It is 4th down. Mike, you'd go for it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd go for the touchdown. You're going to need a lot of points. I'd come right back, same play, Deuce McAllister over the top. I might go to the left side, though, away from DeMarco McNeil, because he's getting too much penetration. I think I'd run the same play to the left side. Deuce McAllister over the top.
McAllister hurdles, he scores. Rudy Johnson looks on across the way, and as McAllister has brought Ole Miss to within one. Binkley to attempt the extra point. Good pass. And he missed it. He pushed the last one. He pushed it to the right. You remember I made the comment. And this time he pushed it and misses. So let's take a timeout. 10:27 left in this third quarter. Auburn by 1, 21-20.
For years, Honda engineers have developed the ultimate in racing technology. Innovations that have brought them manufacturers' championships, the respect of the entire racing world, and of course, groupies. Fortunately, this same technology goes into every Honda we build.
This is a very rare strain of the A5 virus. It produces mRNA, the deadliest of the stem loop structures.
Oh, don't worry, it's not an airborne strain.
Excuse me, how long have you been studying the A5 virus?
Well, I'm not actually a scientist, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Tostitos? The exhilarating taste of new spicy quesadilla Tostitos chips.
Fight, fight, and march down the field. File up the touch.
It's fun for everyone. Dig in, kick back, Tostitos.
Brett Ingram, fluke or phenom. ESPN spotlights this super soft QB to see if he'll slump or soar. Mississippi State versus BYU at 8 Thursday on
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Honda. A winning lineup of fine quality automobiles, motorcycles, and power equipment. And by Monsoon Audio Systems. Drive drenched in sound. Now looking at the downtown square in Oxford, Mississippi. Some say it looks like right out of Faulkner. And probably Faulkner got a lot of ideas by looking at that town square. Deuce McAllister, and it appears they're working on him, maybe cramping just a little bit. Kickoff to the 6, and this is Robinson again. Dances to the outside, and this time Contain is there, and he will be stopped and knocked down hard at the 21. Robert Williams on the special teams makes the tackle. He is the number 3 tailback.
35, Robert Williams.
In just the way Ole Miss has played the first 4 minutes and 45 seconds of the second half, they got a little more bounce in their step. I think they had a stern talking to it.
The running game has really come to the front, and Ronnie Daniels, as you saw by that graphic, number 25, no catches in this ball game to date.
That's Carter in motion to the top of the screen. They give it off to him, tries to turn the corner, and this time going to be stopped after a gain of 3 as MZ Williams makes the tackle.
When we talked to Tommy Tuberville and Noel Mazzoni about Ronnie Daniels, they talked about he's got to get used to being double covered all the time, but I don't think he's being double covered tonight. They just have not been able to get the football to him. In his statistics last year, had such a great year. Need the ball in his hands. Caught 9 touchdown passes last year.
That's 3 times they've run that play with Carter. Right up the middle. Heath Evans breaks it big out over the 35, and he's going to be tackled at the 37 by Thomas. And Reese Davis, let's check in with you.
All right, Ron, the one thing that didn't go well for USC in the kickoff classic against Penn State, Carson Palmer throwing the ball. Tonight against Colorado, hit 9 of his first 10, and then here finds Matt Nichols for a touchdown, and the Trojans are on top 7-0.
It's a loaded football team, Southern Cal.
Evans now 4 carries, 32 yards, and he's scored a touchdown. They give it to him again. Lost the football. Bouncing around. Ole Miss has it at the 50. That's Senator Taylor. First turnover.
Looked like what happened, Ron, is he got such high extension out of his leg kick that I think his thigh pads hit the football. The inside belly play. His leg came up and he knocked the ball out of his hands. Big turnover for Auburn.
Sanford and Gunn set in the backfield. Sanford, the fullback. Joe Gunn, number 28, at the top of the eye. And it's Gunn. And he squirms his way for a gain of almost 5 yards. Alex Lincoln, who's been a busy fella tonight, just made his 6th tackle of the evening.
Well, they showed you Deuce McAllister on the sideline getting worked on, but you got the luxury of bringing Joe Gunn in. He gained over 900 yards rushing last year for this Ole Miss football team. So they got a double barrel.
Very good. And I'll tell you, Williams, number 35, who made the tackle on the special teams, is a really fine-looking tailback as well. Gunn tries to bounce it outside. He does, and close to the first down. I think from the spot, it's going to be just a little bit short. Lincoln again.
Talked about Tulane's effort last week. They held Joe Gunn to 13 yards on 10 carries, but that opened up the passing game.
So the Deuce gets a breather on the sideline. He and Gunn get along well, and this is one of those things when kids, you know, enjoy a 1-2 combination, gives you that extra breather so that you can go hard into the 4th quarter. Gunn, a junior out of Amory, Mississippi, 5'10", 200 pounds. Ole Miss 3 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. And they go straight ahead with the fullback. And Stanford, who scored a touchdown on a screen pass last week, breaks with a good second effort and will have the first down. Tavares Pounds on the tackle for Auburn.
That play, the little belly right there, has been run by both these teams very successful. When you start to run off tackle and outside like both these teams have done tonight, both linebackers start to run, and that's a play they'll catch a linebacker running and you break it back against the grain.
Stackhouse fullback, McAllister back in a tailback. Faked it to McAllister, going to go on top, overthrew it, intercepted. That's Creighton. And Creighton is going to be tackled at the 27. Turnover for turnover. And Romero Miller upset with himself because that one was well overthrown.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball to L.J. Taylor, number 14, and way overthrown. Good draw fake. Gets turned around, trying to get the ball to number 14, L.J. Taylor. You see the high throw.
And he had him open, too.
Creighton is guarding, is in zone coverage, and Hurd, and he sees the ball being overthrown. Good reactions. So turnovers kind of
offset each other.
Offset.
And they pitch it back to Rudy Johnson, and he is able to turn the corner and will take it over the 30 to around the 33 as Anthony Sims makes the tackle.
Rudy Johnson in the first half got rolling early. Used him as a pass receiver, and he took the ball inside the 20. Breaks tackles, makes some moves in the hole, then broke outside here in the 10-yard line. Shows you a lot of strength getting in the end zone.
2nd down and 2. How many times have we said that tonight? But Johnson picking up 7 and 8 yards on first down. Takes the pitch, comes back to the wide side of the field. Hello! Oh, my goodness! Amzie Williams. Amzie Williams with the hit, and he said, "Welcome to Oxford. I bet you read Faulkner." Oh, boy.
Rudy got bent back here.
Third down, and they still need the same 2 yards.
Still nothing right here for Rodney Daniels.
Ben Laird retreats right over the middle, knocked down, nice defensive play, and that's Kenny Woods who went parallel to the ground to knock it down.
Good play by Kenny Woods, using his left hand to deflect the football. A blitz on, man coverage. Nice play on Clifton Robinson.
Well, the special teams are not moving on the far sideline. They need about 1.5 yards. Just inside of 2 to pick up the first down. And Auburn breaks the huddle, and it appears that they're going to go for it. Laird to throw, and has it complete. Worthy. And he'll take it out to the 44-yard line.
Ron, that's a gutsy call, but go back to the onside kick that Tommy Tuberville pulled, because that, you just don't want to give the ball to Deuce McAllister. You onside kick, even if they didn't get it, Ole Miss would have gotten on 30. This was a gutsy call, because you're talking about a game call right there, because you give Ole Miss the ball on the 35-yard line. Look out.
Probably the most surprising thing is with that running back to throw it twice.
Yeah, that's trusting Ben Laird.
Well, the receiver Daniels ran a pattern coming back in toward the post, and Laird threw it out. So they were not on the same page.
When you have a quarterback, Ben Laird threw 111 completed out of 157 passes last year without a running game. That's 70% completion percentage. So you got a lot of faith in your quarterback. That was still a gutsy call.
5 minutes, 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Laird 8 of 16, 123 yards. Got him open and overthrew him at the 38-yard line. Clifton Robinson. Oh, my goodness.
Go back to that call again by Tommy Tuberville. I think both coaches feel like it's going to take a lot of points tonight. And you just don't want to come up empty anytime. You don't want to settle for a field goal like David Cutcliffe ball on the 1-yard line. A lot of people maybe thought he should have taken the 3. But you got to get 7s in this game.
Auburn 2 of 7 on third down conversions. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Line to make the 45.5 of Ole Miss. And that pass overthrown.
Tried to get the ball to Ronnie Daniels finally, and overthrown.
Drops off back to the 30-yard line. First 3 punts tonight. You saw what he has done. If you look at McAllister, nobody's booing. It's just for Deuce.
Cleaning windows. I have no idea.
McAllister 1 punt return, 9 yards.
Ask Adrian.
High wobbly kick. McAllister on the run at the 13. McAllister is gone. Damon Duval will not catch it. To Deuce. 87 yards. Off the top of the telecast, for those who have not seen him, he is special in a lot of ways. Punt return, kick return, wide receiver, and tailback. You surprised you're going for 1?
Yeah, I really am. I think this is a 2-point unless they're going to fake it. This one right down the middle.
Real surprise. 4 minutes, 53 seconds left in the third quarter. And McAllister takes it the distance.
If you think a drama can't be funny,
You know, I watched you very closely. You didn't screw up once.
if you think a comedy can't move you,
Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it.
look closer.
I rule.
The critics are calling American Beauty a unique masterpiece, such as The Graduate and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's how things really are.
And Rolling Stone says great acting, great directing, great movie. American Beauty, rated R.
For the challengers, the desire to be champion is stronger than any pain, any faith, any love. And the champion will face any challenge, suffer any pain to keep his title. Watch them battle. One will win, the rest destroyed. All of them will give you the match of their lives. You cannot imagine what will happen until you see it live. Order WCW Fall Brawl, Sunday, September 17th at 8 Eastern, live and only on pay-per-view.
It's MLS playoffs on ESPN2. The postseason kicks into action when star players clash on the field, looking to make the crucial save or drill the winning goal. MLS playoffs begin Thursday at 8 on ESPN2.
A great tradition continues on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights. This week's main event, Jose Luis Castillo takes on Stevie Johnson in a 12-round lightweight battle. Friday Night Fights, Friday at 9 on ESPN2.
They call him Deuce, number 22. He's double trouble wearing red and blue. You can't catch McAllister, 'cause you can't catch the wind. You'll have to catch the highlights on ESPN.
Well, we talked about him off the top of the telecast. And when a young man is 6'2" and around 225 and on a 4.27, remarkable individual. This is Carter. And Carter is a guy, Mike, we were talking during the timeout. Carter is a guy, one play, and all of a sudden, home run.
One swing of the bat, and that's all he needs to do. But Deuce McAllister, I've been impressed with him tonight, Ron. He does it all. Catches the football, kicking game, and he can power run you. And he's got a lot of speed. This may be the best running back in the country, and he may be the Heisman guy.
This morning on SportsCenter, Robert Roberts, they had a story on Deuce talking about the academic side of life at the university and how important it is to him. From the 29. Obviously, this crowd is aroused. Rudy. Met hard at the line of scrimmage, and this time he'll gain one, but it's Burgess. And let's check in with Reese Davis.
Ron, another defense coming up with a big play for Georgia Tech against Florida State. Marcus Alston in there at quarterback getting a series, and Marvis Hester has it, and he's going the other way. 50 yards, he takes it to the house. It's 12-7. Winky's back in there for Florida State now. They're halfway through the second quarter.
All righty. We're about to go into 4 minutes in this third quarter. Ole Miss 27, Auburn 21. Laird has this one complete to Carter. And you know, they're working really hard, Mike. They keep running the end around, the quick passes to him. But just the thing that you're talking about, like the Freddie Millens at Alabama.
They want the ball in his hand.
It takes one bad pursuit angle, and he's by you.
But here's the thing I don't understand. Ronnie Daniels has been absent from this game plan, right? Either something's wrong with Ronnie Daniels because he's not in the game. He hasn't been in for 3 plays unless he's in there now.
Laird's pass off the mark. Threw it behind him. Marcel Willis is the guy that he wanted.
Ron, you know, the last time 4th and 2, they tried to go for it, but they're going to punt here unless they fake the punt. But the reason you try it is you don't want to kick to number 22.
Waiting for the snap back at the 21-yard line.
Delay a game.
Yeah, that time clock ran out.
The wheels are coming off.
We talked about in the first half that Ole Miss seemed stunned offensively and defensively after the onside kick. Auburn, after the long punt return, seems a little stunned on that offensive sequence.
They haven't really, in the second half, they haven't mounted any offense. They haven't been able to get in sync.
9 penalties, 72 yards against the Tigers. Boy, this is a dandy. The canister on the run backer is going to go over his head, and it will go into the end zone. Adrian Karsten, you got a special guest down on the sideline.
The biggest cheerleader, most enthusiastic cheerleader in the state of Mississippi right now. Many times you find athletic directors or friends of the football program, but Dr. Robert C. Kyatt, chancellor of the university, was the nation's leading scorer when you're kicking here at Mississippi. Congratulations. You feel like this football team, this university, is on the cusp of some big things nationally, Doctor.
We really do, Adrian. It's an exciting time at Ole Miss. I think this is really college football at its finest. Great crowd, great teams competing. We're excited about it.
The late 50s, early 60s. Talk about your time, not only when you won 2 national championships as a baseball catcher, then you led the nation in scoring, then you were all-pro with the Redskins, some big years for you.
Well, thanks for remembering, but it was a wonderful time here, and we see a return of that golden era under Coach Cutler.
You don't have the facilities here that you might at some other schools further north for a lot of different reasons. But there's been a dedication to that. We're talking about the possibility of the Heisman Trophy coming to Oxford, Mississippi, but this team is going to have to do this type of thing week to week to week, I think, in order for him to win that.
Absolutely. The team has to help Deuce win that Heisman Trophy. He's a wonderful person, a great citizen, and a great athlete. A wonderful student, too, by the way, and we're proud of him.
Thank you very much. The question is now what type of student was Franklin? We're going to have to ask Mike or ask Ron about that.
That won't take very long. That time the defense steps up and hits Joe Gunn in the backfield and knocks him down for a loss. And they're going to say it's a loss of 1 on the play. Just one closing thought. Robert Kyatt is absolutely one of the best things, maybe the best thing that ever happened to the University of Mississippi, and he has really, really done an outstanding job. Coach Cutcliffe said it's a great thing to have when your chancellor is a former football player and understands.
He understands. That's right. A lot of them don't.
They set the screen, threw it behind him a little bit, and it took him the time to gather it, and that's the reason it gave Alton Moore an opportunity to come over and make the tackle. Now Ole Miss looking at a 3rd down and long situation.
Alton Moore signed with Auburn out of high school, but then entered junior college, and Joe Witt, the longtime coach at Auburn, stayed with him and got him after he was in junior college to come back to Auburn.
Joe Gunn comes to the sideline, and number 22, McAllister, checks back in. Line to make is just across the 45-yard line. Miller puts air under this one, and complete to Stackhouse, the fullback. And now here comes a late flag in.
Ron, that's the wheel route, and you get Stackhouse, the fullback, on the middle linebacker, Alex Lincoln. You like that? Romero Miller saw it, came right to it. Flag day here.
Interference on the offense. Penalty 15 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Alex Lincoln, the middle linebacker, number 43. He's got him right here. He's got Stackhouse. And that's what Romero Miller sees and takes advantage of it. A running back versus the middle linebacker. There may be a little push off by Stackhouse. It's hard to see that. Alex Lincoln calling for it. That put that play in the book.
Yeah.
That is a flip-flop the field.
That ball was all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Now Ole Miss scrimmages from their own 20-yard line.
They may run out of they get a timeout.
So we'll take a break. 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Ole Miss 27-21.
Before he became leader.
Introducing Blue for Business from American Express.
When I go, I go. I get in the zone and everything gets left behind, especially my old antiperspirant. It never kept me dry, but this one's different. High Endurance Red Zone. The strongest form of wetness protection ever made, just for guys who sweat big. Nothing is stronger. High Endurance Red Zone absorbs in the skin to help stop odor and sweat where it starts. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. Come on, take a dry run in the Red Zone. Intense protection for intense people.
We were just figuring during the timeout how many yards were lost on what would have been the completed pass without the penalty, and then adding the penalty on. Mike, a difference in 49 yards. You're right. It really flipped the field.
Now that's probably one of the biggest plays in this football game. And when you look at it, the head of Alex Lincoln goes back a little bit. Charles Stackhouse, whether he wanted to or not, he did hit the head of Alex Lincoln. And Alex Lincoln right away, he's saying, hey, he pushed off, and then the flag came in.
Third and 26. Quick screen to McAllister, and this one's not going to go anywhere. Nicely diagnosed by Pounds. Devarius Pounds, a junior from Villarica, Georgia.
Ron, go back to the two roughing the kickers against Reagan King in the first quarter, but they were close of blocking a punt. Now, I don't know if Tommy Tuberville will choose to return here or go after this punt. They were close.
Third time that King has punted tonight. As you look at Clifton Robinson, Clifton has had an outstanding special teams game. High pass, and it's a good thing that Auburn had to return it. Blocked in the back, flags go down, and Robinson is going to be tackled as he goes across midfield. Gilthy on the stop. So block in the back. A reminder, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN Classic. 1979, Pittsburgh versus Penn State. A game to remember for freshman quarterback Dan Marino as he leads Pitt to an upset victory. To order ESPN Classic, call your satellite provider or dial 1-800-CLASSIC. Less than a minute to play, third quarter.
Ronnie Daniels out here on the outside. Still hasn't become a part of this offense tonight.
They fake it to Rudy Johnson. Pressure on Laird. Drills his pass incomplete. Daniels, the intended receiver. Ken Lucas was there to knock it away for the Rebs.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want him against Justin Coleman, number 21, not against Ken Lucas, number 24. Ken Lucas was a wide receiver when David Cutcliffe came here, and then he switched him at the bowl game. Let him play a little bit the wide receiver, but he knew he was going to be a good defensive back.
Did you see Lucas? He made sure that left arm was even behind him so he didn't touch and get the pass interference call. Complete right over the middle, and that's DeAndre Green, the big freshman from Pritchard, Alabama.
Was suspended the first week of the season in the Wyoming game, so he didn't play. Ken Lucas on the coverage. I would still continue to try to get the ball to Ronnie Daniels. A little Rudy every now and then, and Ronnie Daniels would be the target I would try to get to.
Could be the last play of the third quarter as the game clock is down to 10. And there's Rudy, and he will spin his way for a gain of 5 yards. Tripped up by Amzie Williams, number 46. 2 seconds, 1, and that is the end of the third quarter. So we head to the final 15, and just what we had anticipated, a shootout in Oxford, Mississippi. It's Ole Miss 27 and Auburn 21.
ESPN's 2-minute drill, premiering September 11th.
Have you got the answer?
Hey, Mr. Two Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. I mean, missed oil changes. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Save up to $50 on leading car care products when you buy Quaker State at AutoZone.
There's always a combination of taking your knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. Call your advisor or Invesco Funds about the Dynamics Fund. You should know what Invesco knows.
Your eyes are 95% water. And your muscles, 75% water. Your heart, it's 80% water. And your lungs, well, 80% water. Every part of your body needs pure water. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
Now there's more reasons than ever to join AOL.
If I knew it was this easy, I would have started a long time ago.
There's an 800 number that you can call 24 hours a day. On AOL, your privacy and security are always protected. There's no better time to join. America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
For years, Honda engineers have developed the ultimate in racing technology. Innovations that have brought them manufacturers' championships, the respect of the entire racing world, and of course, groupies. Fortunately, this same technology goes into every Honda we build.
Uniroyal tires with nail guard seal most tread punctures. Instantly. Permanently. And repeatedly. Nail guard tires. Only from Uniroyal.
So it's the fourth quarter, 27-21. Ole Miss leading Auburn. Quite a third quarter. Same way for Ole Miss against Tulane the week before when they broke out for 21 points in that quarter. Keith Evans, the lone setback. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Auburn. It's Carter in motion, and they give it to him again. This is the 4th time they've run this play tonight, and he is so quick. Talk about pursuit angles that got to be just right. You can get in a lot of trouble in a hurry. Sean Johnson bumped him out of bounds. Don't forget to vote for our player of the game. You can log on to ESPN.com. And who do you think? It's just a list of candidates that probably would be in the voting tonight. Would it be Rudy? Would it be Ben Laird? Would it be Deuce? Alex Lincoln.
As of right now.
Well, you started your lobby again, huh?
I'm lobbying, but not complete yet.
3rd down. Auburn 2 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. And Laird's pass caught by Daniels, and he'll be wrapped up short of the 1st down. Do you go, Mike?
Yeah, you got to go for this. Kenny Lucas, they've put Kenny Lucas on Ronnie Daniels this entire late in the 3rd quarter, the 4th quarter. So you got your best versus your best.
By the way, defensive stats. Thomas for Ole Miss with 10 tackles, 5 of them solo. Senator Taylor, 8 tackles, 1 fumble recovery. And Lincoln now for Auburn has 9 tackles, 5 of them are solo.
Well, you figure it's going to be Rudy time.
Yeah, you would certainly think so. And he gets it. And he bounces outside, and he is loose. At the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Auburn. 42 yards. Duvall with the all-important extra point here because we're tied at 27. He got it, and Auburn goes on top with 13 minutes and 59 seconds left in our ball game. So we'll break. Auburn 28, Ole Miss 27, and Rudy was the man.
America still has a frontier.
San Francisco. Pretty amazing place.
Especially for a MetLife financial professional.
So you recommend mutual funds?
I do. It's a great way to save.
When America moved west, MetLife invested in railroads, telephone, and electric lines. We helped connect the country. That's MetLife.
Pull a 401k up on the screen. I work with people who work in the future. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen here first.
All right. Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I figured out how to link up 23 Bradleys, 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, 4 medevac units, and 7,000 troops on the move. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, Army Reserve.
Nothing is better than the freedom.
Every Hyundai comes with the Freedom of America's Best warranty plan. So for the next 10 years, instead of worrying about your car, worry about other things, like the SPF of your sunscreen. The Sonata from Hyundai.
Hurry in and get the Sonata with 0.9% APR financing now.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Hyundai. Every Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty with 10 years powertrain coverage. Part of the capacity crowd here at the Vaught Hemingway Stadium tonight for this conference opener. Very, very important, obviously, in the West. Boy, a shocker over in the East today as Georgia got knocked off. And how are we doing on our comparisons here?
Still about even. Rudy Johnson with a big play there that just vaulted him a little bit ahead.
Very high, and this one is returnable. McAllister from the 6. Here comes the flag from deep downfield. Roderick on the stop.
During the return, holding on the receiving team. The penalty is half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
So now a couple of mistakes. The completed pass, the push off, took them down deep, and now Coach Cutcliffe's team is going to have to scrimmage from deep in their own territory again.
That's why you have a senior quarterback over Romero Miller. You figure he can answer the score.
11 of 19, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Joe Gunn gets the pitch. And the little tailback has no place to go. Loses the football. Was he down?
Down.
Walker is the man who made the stop. But again, particularly when they're inside the 20, Auburn's virtually got everybody at the line of scrimmage.
They're going to stop the run. Whether Gunn's back there or McAllister, they've got everybody in the box. They've got confidence in Creighton and Casher. Going to have to throw the ball out of here.
And now you're going to have to add another penalty. And look, Skrmeta, the tight end, number 90, moved. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you.
Ron, as Romero Miller and his offense resets, need to revisit the issue of his hometown, Shannon, Mississippi.
Yeah,
Ask Adrian, Ron, has become Remind Ron, and this is from Tim right here in Oxford, says no. Shannon is not on the Delta. It's rather just south of Tupelo.
Yeah. Adrian, I didn't do well in geography. I really didn't.
That's what the
State history either.
The Chancellor has your last report card, Ron.
They run it, and Gunn squeezes through a little hole out to the 6. McNeil again, he's been busy. He's had an excellent night. So now it's 3rd down. And Binkley, less having to think about, and he's an excellent kicker. He's a senior out of Memphis. But he pushed that thing just a little bit, missed the extra point, and that's the difference in the ballgame right now, 28-27. A lot of time left in this one, though, with these two offenses. Blitz up the middle, quick screen, and he just had to get rid of that one too quickly because of the pressure coming up the middle. Taylor couldn't grab it in.
Alex Lincoln covered the center, and then they brought the other linebacker, Mark Brown, and pressured Romero Miller. Didn't give him time to throw the football. Clifton Robinson's a good return man also. Former running back. They've moved to wide receiver.
He's been Mr. Special Teams for him tonight, and Auburn has the return on. This is not a good kick. Very high, and it's going to bounce and actually take an Auburn bounce at the 30-yard line.
Now, Clifton Robinson did a great job there, Ron, of signaling to all his players, get away from the football on a short kick.
This thing right here with the poor punt and not having gone for 2. Ole Miss in danger of putting themselves behind the 8 ball early in the 4th quarter in what we thought would be a shootout in a high-scoring game.
Yeah, Ron, the last time that Ole Miss scored, and you talked about the extra point being missed early in the ball game, you really, all coaches have a chart. You almost got to go for 2 right there to put yourself up by 7, because if you kick the extra point, you're ahead by 6. But coaches are different. They have different styles on that. But that's the difference in this ball game right now.
Rudy Johnson. Sims is the man who hit him, but just as he crossed inside the 25, and now it's going to be a 3rd down situation.
That's why Rudy Johnson got a scholarship to Auburn, is right now for this time. 4th quarter, 3rd quarter, he already scored a touchdown. It's to control the football and get stronger as the game goes on.
So the Tiger partisans here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium on their feet and making a lot of racket. Laird from the shotgun. Got him wide open. That's Worthy. Inside the 15, gets smacked down hard by Lucas, but it'll be 1st down Auburn after a gain of 13.
Well, Reggie Worthy wide open. I thought Auburn was going to get called. I thought the left tackle moved just before the snap of that football. Watch number 73, the left tackle. See if he moves. Nope. No, he's right on it. Got Heath Evans on the quick hitter play here.
Yep, that's who they give it to. He scored in that same play earlier in the ball game. Amzie Williams takes his feet out from under him.
Yeah, you figure the linebackers are going to key on Rudy, and so you may slip the fullback in there on that little belly and run by the linebackers. But Ole Miss played it fairly well. Noel Mazzoni, who I think does a great job game planning opponents.
Dan Daniels and Green, the wide receivers to either side. Daniels at the top of your screen. Pitchback goes to Johnson. Breaks the tackle. Not going to break this one. Yes, well, he broke one more. Sean Johnson wound up getting him. That was a good job and good pursuit that time. And you can see how many people it takes to bring him down.
He's a load. 230. I told him to stay out of cheeseburger, because he'll be up to 250. Here's his rushing chart tonight. Inside the tackles, 10 carries for 53 yards. Outside, he's proved he's not a tackle-to-tackle runner. He can run outside.
Laird's pass tipped and almost intercepted by Lucas.
I can see why David Cutcliffe moved Ken Lucas to corner. Now, you talk about a high draft choice. Ken Lucas has got to be high on the list, too. He breaks on the ball very well. Ben Laird looks off, tries to fit the ball in to DeAndre Green, but Ken Lucas makes the play.
.27-yard field goal attempt by Damon Duvall, trying to put Auburn up 31-27. So we'll take a timeout. 9:07 left in our ball game, and it remains a 1-point Auburn lead. We'll be back with more from Oxford after this.
How would you like to get $100 in free programming? You can with the new Dish Network Rewards Refer a Friend program. You already enjoy the great programming and service Dish Network offers. Now your friends can enjoy it too, and we'll give you all the credit. It's easy. Just introduce a friend to Dish Network's Digital Dynamite plan and earn $50 in free programming for each new residential Dish Network customer. That's $100 when you introduce up to 2 new friends. Tune to Channel 250 for more details about Dish Network's new Refer a Friend program.
Hate put me in prison. Love's gonna bust me out.
Just in case love doesn't, I'm gonna bust you out of here. The man's innocent. Been in jail 16 years. It's not right.
We gotta take it to the federal court. The judge is gonna throw it out.
Then we transcend the law. We get back to humanity.
50 years old. You give me hope, and it's more powerful than a fist can ever be.
The hurricane.
Southern Miss's Derek Nix takes on the time and the electrifying Freddie Miller. Southern Miss versus Alabama at 9 next Saturday on ESPN2.
The Sonata, with front and side airbags, V6 power, and a generous list of features, including the ability to leave it all behind. The Sonata from Hyundai, with the freedom of America's best warranty plan.
Hurry in and get the Sonata with 0.9% APR financing now.
Our flight's delayed.
Oh, come on. Collect. Yo, hey, kid. Dial 1-800-COLLECT and you'll save Mom at least $1 or $2.
Save $1 or $2?
Oh, she'll love that. Only if she likes saving money. Don't forget.
Forget? For a collect call, dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I have 5 words for you.
You're cute. You're coming with us.
What's going on? Wow. Let's ride. 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1.
Damon Duvall, the sophomore out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, missing on that field goal attempt. So now he's got a little burden on his shoulders as far as not pushing his team up by 4.
Ron, I'd go right back to Deuce McAllister. He's fresh. This is his time in the ball game.
Well, if you've just joined us, he has had a heck of a night. Broke the long punt return, and that pass is low. And Romero kind of hanging his head a little bit. Not the best of throws that he has made. Well, we started off tonight, all anybody wanted to talk about, as far as the fans are concerned, and was about the return of Tommy Tuberville. But the tempo of this game quickly sent that story to the waistgate.
Out the door.
And we thought we were going to have a shootout, and that's exactly what we've got.
We've had 2 really fine performances by the tailbacks.
McAllister in motion. That ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. He was just going to try to loft it and let Deuce run under it.
Alton Moore again pressure too.
You know, Adrian and I were talking at practice and watching. Romero and Deuce McAllister are roommates, and it is like a second sense. These kids are like brothers, and they don't necessarily talk a lot, but it's like they have signals with each other. And Romero told us in the meeting that they do have private signals, but they also can look at each other and know what the other wants. And the coaches say that's fine as long as it works. Miller going to go on top. And he's got a one-on-one battle, and the pass is overthrown. And now here comes in a late flag, and the Auburn coaches are going nuts. Taylor, the intended receiver, and Simmons was the defensive back.
I want a referee clock this year. I want to speed them up a little bit.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalty 15 yards. First down.
Romero Miller tried to air it out. Yeah, L.J. Taylor. Stanford Simmons will be right with him. I don't know.
I'm sure what the Auburn coaches are saying is, was the ball catchable? You know, was the ball catchable also?
Write that play down, too. That's big.
So first down, Ole Miss. Clock shows 8 minutes and 52 seconds.
Still go back and run the ball to Deuce McAllister.
11 penalties, 97 yards. Going to have to hurry. Did get it away, and here's McAllister. Bounces it to the outside, and then he slips and falls as he tried to make too close a cut, and Courtney Rose was right there. Well, coming up following this game, stay tuned for number 21, Illinois, taking on San Diego State, and we'll get you there as soon as we're finished here in Oxford.
We'll see that Illinois team in a couple of weeks against Michigan.
Yeah, they beat Michigan at the Big House last year. They go to Champaign 2 weeks from tonight. I think that should be a fun outing. From the shotgun. Quick pass, and that one way too tall. Hurd was the guy that he was looking for.
Had a lot of mustard on that throw. Hard throw into the short side of the field. Neither quarterback has played their best game tonight.
Look at Eli Manning, the redshirt freshman out of New Orleans, down on the sideline. Directly to Rose. And on the interception, he will be tackled just inside the 40-yard line. Tober with the pressure, but Romero just appeared to throw it directly to the defender.
Miller looks, I mean, he's trying to get the ball to Hurd on the post, but
no error under the pass at all.
No, I don't think he got anything under the ball. Took a good hit.
Spencer Johnson was the man who put the hit on Miller after that pass was thrown. So Auburn with great field position at the Ole Miss 37-yard line, and they lead it by 1. They were about to go into 8 minutes left in the ballgame. Well, they fake that end around. They throw the ball, and it's complete to the tight end, Robert Johnson. They're going to call Johnson down just short of the 30.
Ron, this is where you got to reach back. Ole Miss's defense. You got to find a way to come up with a play here. You know, to give the ball to Auburn's offense inside the 40-yard line. This is where the defense, now this is where you miss Eddie Strong, number one. But somebody, Ken Lucas, somebody has to make a play here and shut these guys down.
Ole Miss brings in the extra defensive back. Johnson right up the middle. And that offensive line doing a nice job. There's enough of a seam. Williams trips him up, but that's going to be close to another first down.
The Auburn coaches think that's the best part of their game right now. The most improvements been the offensive line. Felt like in the fall practice, they didn't scrimmage at all. They didn't hit at all in the fall because Tommy Tuberville wanted to make sure he got his best players to the gate to run the race.
Just inches. Bill Goss will take it to the hash mark. And as far as Auburn is concerned, I mean, heck, as long as they get some kind of points, but particularly a touchdown, they don't care if it takes 7 minutes to score.
Well, I was going to say the same thing, plus they're using that clock. And Ben Nowlin is 6'2", 306 pounds around your center. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Laird just follows him up inside.
Ben Nowlin, as we mentioned off the top of the telecast, the coaches say the most pleasant surprise of any of the linemen is one of the best surprises on the team. He really has played well. And they go straight ahead, and they will have the first down. Reese Davis, let's check with you again.
All right, Ron, out in the Coliseum, Colorado and USC slugging it out all night early in the second half. Sewell McCullough went for over 100 yards against Penn State, gets in the end zone there, and the Trojans are up by a touchdown.
Yeah, they are playing a little smash mouth, but back and forth, and we get a similar situation. Just a little. Of course, they could be at this same point level by the time they get to the point four.
How about the Pac-10? They've had a big start of this season.
I was a little surprised that they handled Miami today the way they did. This is Heath Evans in the fullback, straight ahead, again patient to run clock, and also, heck, they pick up 6 yards, so it's second and short.
Again, give Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, credit because he hits inside with Heath Evans. He goes outside with Rudy Johnson and also Tim Carter on the reverse, so he's really set everything up pretty well here in the running game. Looks like he's going to get it here.
Well, they got the two tight ends lining up, Diamond and Johnson. Heath Evans, and he is smacked in the backfield by Anthony Sims. That is a wonderful tackle, loss for one.
Anthony Sims did what he needed to do there, making that tackle on Heath Evans and forced this into a third down situation to get his offense the football back. Ron, Ole Miss used a couple timeouts early in the second half. They only have one timeout left. They did what Auburn did in the first half.
So the crowd coming to their feet. Clock runs, 5 minutes and 15 seconds to play. It's third down and 4. The line to make is the 16 of Ole Miss.
Tell you, a mistake right here. It's going to be offsides, I believe.
Contact was made by the defense. 5-yard penalty that creates a first down.
Kenny Jackson, number 92. See, watch number 92, see if the ball moves at all.
Oh, there's
a little
movement by Nowlin, the center. That's the reason he moved. Ole Miss penalty, 6 now for 64. So Auburn gets the first down of the penalty, and here's Rudy Johnson. breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, breaks another tackle, and he is inside the 10 and down to around the 6-yard line.
Ron, what he does well is he moves and he cuts in the hole. He has good vision because he's always cutting, trying to get away from defenders. And this is the time where he's got to be the strong running back to carry this football team. As he gets the football, he cuts back. Now he starts to cut. There's a cut. Now he'll stop on a dime, cut back. And it takes about 4 Ole Miss players to bring him down.
25 carries, 164 yards for Rudy Johnson. Gets it again. Hit in the backfield and going to be knocked down for a loss, and it's 56, Derek Burgess.
Rudy Johnson over 100 yards. And remember, this football team last year, Auburn couldn't run the football. 112th in rushing in Division I. Averaged 1 yard per attempt. Little different team.
Rudy Johnson tries to turn the corner, and on a second effort, he may have gotten that first down. Seneca Taylor tried to submarine him.
Well, he is close. Official put his left foot down. I think it's 4th down. 4th and an inch.
Looked like he turned around to the bench and said, let's go. Give me the football.
Yeah.
That's Ken Lucas, who's shaken up, number 24, the corner.
Tommy Tuberville wants him to measure. Oh, the official said 4th down, but he wants to know how far he has. Here's what we were talking about. 68 yards rushing, 112th in the NCAA. Tonight they've run the football 252 yards. Ron, do you take the quarterback sneak here, or do you take the ball off the line of scrimmage? I think you take the quarterback sneak. They've been successful on it. I'd stay right with it.
Johnson has been stopped so few times tonight. Either that or the belly to Evans.
Yeah, I take quarterback sneak.
Follow Ben now. That's what they do, and it's a first down as Sims will be credited with the tackle. And the most devastating thing to David Cutcliffe and Ole Miss is the fact that the clock all of a sudden, we talked about what they wanted to do. They would not be in a hurry to score.
Right.
When they whistle this thing back in, there's only 2 minutes and 44 seconds left.
And they don't have timeouts to use. They've got 1 timeout to use.
10th play of the drive. It all started back at the 37. And it's Evans straight ahead, and he'll take it all the way to the 1-yard line.
Auburn satisfied to just get up real slow and go back to the huddle.
Has already scored a touchdown tonight. I would imagine he wishes that they would give it to him again to atone for that fumble that he had. But of course that was a turnover for a turnover. 10 carries for him and 55 yards as Auburn actually got it back with an interception right after that.
For Ole Miss, you'd like to see him score here so you can get the ball back. And they did it.
Straight ahead and touchdown Auburn. Behind the blocking of Nowlin.
Ben Nowlin, we talked about him all night, the center. Noel Mazzoni said when they got there, he was about the 7th center, but he has worked his way into this lineup. And Ben Laird just follows him all night.
11 plays, 37 yards. And look at this. 37 yards. They used up 6 minutes and 21 seconds. That's good. Right down the middle with the extra point.
Ole Miss still has time, Ron.
So we'll take a timeout. 1:41 left in the ball game, and our new score, Auburn on top by 8, 35-27.
Nothing is better than the freedom.
Every Hyundai comes with the freedom of America's best warranty plan. So for the next 10 years, instead of worrying about your car, worry about other things, like the SPF of your sunscreen. The Sonata from Hyundai.
Hurry in and get the Sonata with 0.9% APR financing now.
Those are the teeth that protect our beer from wussies and place kickers. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Beck's Light.
ATT man, he's my brother. He was always on the phone, always calling his sweeties.
C-A-L-L-A-T-T.
He had issues.
For the same low rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Emmett and the boys head to the desert to tussle with Jake the Snake and the Cards. Right after NFL primetime at 7:30, it's the Cowboys versus the Cardinals at 8:30 on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It's football after dark.
Now, with one of these Nokia mobile phones, you can play 3-play just about anywhere. At the country club, dining al fresco, go to the beach. 3-play from ESPN.com. It's free. It's sports. Give me the briefcase. It's money.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. Illinois and San Diego State are underway out west, and the Illini defense are coming. Trevon Waller getting Jack Hawley with the sack, and we'll get you out there after we see if the Rebels can get it back in their last chance.
So David Cutcliffe, who is just really, time management is something that's really important to him. But first things first, conversations on the far sideline, and here's my question to you. Do you kick off to McAllister?
No.
Do you squib it? What do you do?
I do not kick the ball to Deuce McAllister here. I squib the kick. Unless this guy promises me he's going to kick it out of the end zone, I squib kick it. Do not kick the ball to Deuce McAllister.
The ball's kicked, and it is returnable. McAllister at the goal line.
As I said, I stayed in the Holiday Inn Express last night.
Thomas on the special teams downfield as Deuce McAllister looking for a spot to run, and he got caught from behind and knocked down.
Penalty on Auburn.
After the play, personal foul on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the line.
A lot of time left here for Ole Miss.
Next Thursday on ESPN, it all begins with college football tonight, 7:30 Eastern. Then it will be Mississippi State taking on BYU. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Ole Miss quickly to the line of scrimmage. They have a first down at the 26.5-yard line. Miller sets in the pocket, drills the pass. Incomplete. Little bit low, but Taylor should have held on to that one. One timeout left for Ole Miss. 3 for Auburn. They don't care. They just want the clock to run with 91 seconds left in the ball game. Miller's pass is intercepted. Stanford Simmons. 3 times he's been picked off tonight, and he just let it get away from him. Threw it way too high.
Been high on a couple throws tonight trying to get the ball to L.J. Taylor. Three interceptions tonight for Merrill Miller, and just threw it over the intended receiver. 14, L.J. Taylor. Looked like he wasn't ready for the ball either.
He wasn't, and it also appeared that Hurd, I know he didn't have a lot of time, but it appeared that Hurd had a step or two on his guy running a post on the outside. That's a career high.
David Cutcliffe talking to Romero. There's a lot of football to be played. Ronnie goes back to Ole Miss having trouble in the opener in the SEC.
Well, David Cutcliffe said that when we met with him yesterday that the long haul, obviously he won't win this ball game tonight, but the long haul is what they're investing in, because they had 21 freshmen. They're playing 4. They're going to redshirt 17 if they possibly can. And he loves Romero Miller to death, not only as a football player, but as an individual. And so that little talk right there was just what you said. We got a lot of games left.
And he's done a great job here at Ole Miss, David Cutcliffe. He's got this football team in a position now that they're very competitive, and they got a shot for the West. Now, it's tough when you lose the opener, but they have lost the opener before.
Deuce McAllister, a tremendous night as far as all-purpose yardage. When you add everything up as far as punt, kick, running, 256 yards for him tonight. That's right, 256. Rudy Johnson. Burgess tags him after he gains a couple.
Sometimes you want to win so bad you foul it up. You just you're emotional, and you want to win, and you want to prove to everybody in this kind of ball game. There was a lot of things outside the football game about Tommy Tuberville coming back, and you want to win it, and you just sometimes you make some mistakes and don't get it done.
Deuce's numbers as far as all-purpose. Rudy with 165 on 28 carries. Burgess again makes the tackle. And this one's just about in the books as the game clock is down to 38 seconds. And a timeout, the final one, called by Ole Miss. And Adrian, let's go down to you on the sideline.
Ron, final thought from the website tonight. The majority of the email, 9 letters out of 10, asked Adrian to go to the Grove. So I did. Hand-hammered sterling silver candelabras, mother of pearl pitchers, at least 3 dozen American beauties. And the roses aren't bad either. For those of us visiting from Wisconsin today, they even are serving cheddar cheese. They tell me that anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 football fans were out here in the Grove starting at 5:30 this morning. Now, Ron, if all of our college football fans want to log on and ask Adrian to tailgate like this, then I say just keep those computerized cards and letters coming.
Adrian, I know in 15 minutes where you're going to be. You've never met a rib you didn't like. So on our poll on the internet of our player of the game, here it is, Deuce McAllister. And when you look at the number we mentioned just a moment ago as far as all-purpose yardage in this game, not surprising. Rudy Johnson, obviously a great game tonight. He has put 2 back-to-back. But Deuce McAllister, according to our fans on the internet, is our player of the game. 256 all-purpose yards tonight.
Ron, now Auburn has to think about going back home where they haven't won an SEC home game in 2 years. So they got LSU coming calling, and we'll be there.
We'll be there next week. So Tommy Tuberville got to be glad that this one's over. Clock runs down to 4, 3, 2, and 1, and it's history. So our final score is Auburn 35 and Ole Miss 27. Coming up next, it's Illinois and San Diego State. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. And now, let's go to Mark Jones. Mark.
We are at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California. Illinois, number 21 in the country, against San Diego State, the Big Ten, against the Mountain West. Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta and Rob Stone, and Illinois leads by a score of 7-0, and they are threatening right now on San Diego State's 24-yard line. Kirk Kittner has been the picture of precision so far in the early going. 8:19 to play in the first quarter. 3rd down and 6 for the Illini. A quick slant complete to the 17-yard line to Aaron Moorhead. Just a few moments ago, after a penalty on a punt, Kittner with a nice play fake goes underneath to number 17, Greg Lewis, who scores the touchdown from 21 yards out. And earlier, before that, on the series before that, Gray McNeil, offensively, the tight end for San Diego State, injured his knee. And this is how it happened. McNeil is an all-conference selection for San Diego State, and they can ill afford to lose him. But they have lost him for the rest of the game. Look at the numbers so far. Illinois with 50 total yards offensively. San Diego State is going the wrong way. Kittner so far 5 of 6 passing for 43 yards and 1 touchdown pass.
And San Diego State must get pressure on Kirk Kittner because he's throwing the ball early on and he's very accurate.
Head coach Ron Turner of Illinois looking for improvement, marked improvement from everybody from a week ago against Middle Tennessee State. And he's getting the results so far. Harvey and Cook lining up out of the eye. Kittner gets rid of it quick. That's Cook. And Cook is tripped up at the 9-yard line, close to an Illinois first down. Number 18, Brian Russell, the free safety, making the tackle for San Diego State.
And Kittner loves using all his weapons on offense. Jamil Cook converted from halfback to fullback in the middle of last season, and they use him more as a receiver than a fullback.
Cook was a little nicked up, Gino, coming into the game this week. Had a high ankle sprain, but is active today. 2nd down and 1. Another play fake. Boy, Kittner really sells those fakes, but he's in trouble this time. Brought down by number 99, George Heather. Gino, one of the keys that you pointed out earlier was San Diego State being able to get pressure on Kittner and make him take some hits. Hasn't happened so far, though.
It hasn't happened. The Illinois offensive line is big and experienced, and they need to get to him. This is the keys. Both teams need to create big plays. Illinois get by the San Diego State blitz, and both teams need to win the turnover battle even more so for San Diego State.
3rd down and 2, a 2 tight end formation. They give it right up the middle to Antonio Harris, and Harris has the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Fighting Illini from the 3-yard line. And this offense is in sync. Pavelko making the tackle for San Diego State.
They're in sync. Watch these front 5 offensive linemen just bulldoze the San Diego State offense. And Harris, the power back of the two-headed monster between Harvey and Harris. Look at the size of these guys. Average weight, 308 pounds, 6'5", bigger than 11 pro football teams here at Illinois.
You have to ask where the beef is this week. 2 tight end formation again. Moorhead in motion. They give it to Antonio Harris, and it's another Illinois touchdown. A 4-yard run by Antonio Harris.
Mark, you don't need to know where the beef is. It's up front for the Illinois offense. And Harris, the power back. They get inside the 5. There's no doubt about it. Red Ziniak pulls around the corner and just gives him a gaping hole to run through.
Steve fits in for the extra point. And there is a deafening silence here at Qualcomm Stadium. Why, you ask? Well, Kirk Kittner is pressing all the right buttons as his team leads 14-0.
We're the Crush Crew from Queens, New York. And we just crushed those tired Minnesota Vikings. We burned Dwayne Run like his mama's nasty breakfast toast. Somebody call the burn unit. What's happening, Dwayne?
Somebody help out Dwayne. Get NFL 2K1. Go online through Dreamcast and, yo, show them the web address. Look for Crush Crew and stomp these mullet-wearing, T-top driving hairballs. Stomp them. Shut up!
Presenting Dockers.
Select road. Validating tires.
With BF Goodrich tires, we
makes any road you choose. BF Goodrich Tires, take control.
Tom Green here at Muscle Beach. We're going to show how new Right Guard Extreme Sport works even under the most extreme conditions. Extreme protection against odor and wetness. Goes on clear and it doesn't quit.
New Right Guard Extreme Sport. Get extreme. Get Right Guard.
Our flight's delayed.
Oh, come on. Collect.
Yo, hey, kid. Dial 1-800-COLLECT and you'll save Mom at least $1 or $2.
Save $1 or $2?
Oh, she'll love that. Only if she likes saving money. Don't forget.
Forget? For a collect call, dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I have 5 words for you.
You're cute. You're coming with us.
What's going on? Wow. Let's ride. 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1.
Welcome back to San Diego, where Illinois has jumped out to an early 14-point lead. San Diego State star defensive end Akbar Baja-Biamila would be playing right now if he was riding a stationary bike rather than his mountain bike Thursday. Coming home from class, his front tire on his bike blew out. As it flipped, it smacked him in the Achilles tendon, forcing him out of tonight's game at a minimum. So, who does San Diego State turn to try and offset this monstrous Illinois offensive line that is bigger than 11 NFL teams? How about a guy that's basically my height, 5'8", 290 pounds, Jerome Haywood. Coaches call him the best player on this team, and he is just a go-getter all night long.
Yeah, well, Rob, he better get going real quick because right now his team is down 14 points. Haywood, an all-conference selection from Chula Vista. First down and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Aztecs. Look at the last scoring drive by Illinois. Just under 3 minutes on the clock. Larry Ned now in for San Diego State at tailback. His first series. And it's incomplete at the 43 for Lewis. Let's go back to the studio and Reese Davis.
Mark at the Coliseum, USC in Colorado. Trojans up on a Sultan McCullough touchdown, but Bobby Pesavento off the bench just as he was a week ago against Colorado State, finding Daniel Graham 36 yards, and the Buffs have it tied at 14 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, Reese, second down and 10. We talked about the drops last week. San Diego State receivers dropped 10 Jack Hawley passes. We have our first moments ago. Check that, make it the second. That one coming courtesy of Lewis. The draw play, this is Ned. Crossing the 20 down to the 22-yard line. It'll be third down and about 8 to go for the Aztecs.
Jack Hawley puts this throw right on the money to Lewis. There it is. The defender, Trayvon Waller, comes up, makes a good play, but that ball could have been, should have been, and could have been caught. Look at that. 10 drop passes last week. San Diego State can ill afford a repeat performance.
You couldn't blame Jack Hawley if he got up in his receivers' grills and their faces, but to his credit, he didn't. Didn't point any fingers in spite of those 10 drops. Third down and 8. He completes this one, and his receiver hangs on. That's the tight end, Raleigh Fletcher, who had one go through his arms a little bit earlier, and it's a first down for San Diego State, their first one of the ball game. It comes with 5:02 to play in the first period.
And what Hawley does here, he just sticks the ball on him, Mark. I don't think Fletcher really has a chance to drop this football. But you know what? There's a way for a quarterback not to get in his receiver's grill and point any fingers. He just has to let them know they have to step up, because if they don't, San Diego State's going to be in for a long night.
10 drops just too much to win a ball game. First down and 10. Hawley off the hands of Lewis. Lewis turned and found the ball right there, but it was incomplete. And now a smattering and a chorus of boos coming from the stands already.
Derek Lewis, the same exact route, maybe a little high, but he got his hands on it. That ball should have been caught. And Jack Hawley, the coaches say he's very talented and has a skill level even higher than Dan McGuire, who was a first-round pick out of here in the early 90s.
Yeah, offensive coordinator David Lay coached him. It's second down and 10, a 3-receiver formation, single back set. You'll see a lot of that from the Aztecs. Hawley to pass again. Throws a dart complete to J.R. Tolbert, who dances away, eluding tacklers down to the 45-yard line. And another Aztec first down. Mike Young making the tackle for Illinois.
Now I see why the coaches are so high on Jack Hawley. Here you see Tolbert just run a simple comeback route, and Hawley has got a big-time arm. He puts that ball right in between the numbers of Tolbert, and Tolbert able to shake and bake and get a few extra yards after the catch.
Tolbert made tremendous improvement. He started in the last 2 games of last season and did well when he did see action.
Mark, he made 7 catches last week. He had 9 in all of 99.
That's an improvement. At Mira Mesa High School right here in San Diego, California. First down and 10. 3 receivers out to the top of your screen for Hawley, and flags down in the play. There's a look at the offensive coordinator I was referring to moments ago, David Lay.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
One of the concerns for Ted Tollner and his staff, Gino, pass protection because of the lack of continuity on that offensive line.
Only 14 starts combined by the front 5 offensive linemen for San Diego State. So they can ill afford to get penalties like this or get pressure on Jack Hawley.
4 minutes to go in the first period. First down and 15. Larry Ned on the run. Ned looking pretty healthy. That knee holding up on that run. Picks up about 6 yards, and let's go downstairs for more from Rob.
Well, with that carry, Larry Ned just broke into the school's top 10 rushing category as far as carries and yards gained. You know, he underwent arthroscopic knee surgery August 20th, just returned to practice this week. He did not start the game. Coach got him in very early, and Ted Tollner told me just before kickoff, hey, once Larry's in, he's in for the long haul.
All right, Rob, he's an all-conference selection as well. Now number 10 in school history on the rushing chart. Second down and 6 for the Aztecs. Hawley finds his target again. That's Bill Hammett, number 83. The H-back, the slot receiver, has the first down near the 30-yard line for San Diego State. Last week, Hammett had 3 catches for a total of 31 yards. Tackle made by number 28, Eugene Wilson.
And Mark, the San Diego State offensive line doing a great job of giving Hawley time and able to step up and find his open receivers. Here you'll see how the inside receiver Hammett just run a simple out cut. Hawley able to stick it on him, and Hammett makes some good yards after the catch.
Gives him a first down and 10. Hawley finding the groove, and this is where he can be dangerous when he's in the open field. Jack Hawley tiptoes out of bounds and picks up another Aztec first down at the 17-yard line, picking up 14 yards in the process.
And that's a whole nother dimension for Jack Hawley besides the big-time arm. He steps up in the pocket, does a good job, still looking downfield, but sees, hey, I can pick up a first down running with the football.
Jack Hawley, the former junior college All-American. You get the feeling that his offensive linemen, his entire offensive unit, love playing for this guy and with this guy.
Well, when you're a tough quarterback, guys really want to play a little bit harder for you, and Hawley is one of those types of quarterbacks.
A 2 tight end formation on first down and 10. They run the draw to Ned again. They've had some success with that one. Ned powering forward to the 11-yard line, picking up about 3 on the play. Last year, Larry Ned averaged 5.5 yards per rush and 81 yards per game. The tackle made by Mike Young right there, number 52.
And Mark, didn't look like any lingering effects from an orthoscopic knee surgery on August 20th. I don't know, but he looked like he bowled a few guys for a few extra yards at the end of that run.
This is the 10th play of the drive. Gino, what did they do before arthroscopic knee surgery? Before the scope?
I don't know, but the scars aren't pretty from the old surgeries.
Second down and 5. Ned the lone back. Hawley fires incomplete, intended for number 7, Thomas Howard. It'll be third down and 5 to go. You would think that San Diego State would really need and want some success, get some kind of points out of this drive with 1:42 to play in the first period, trailing 14-0.
They need points here, not only because they're down 14-0, but because the offensive confidence is not that high after last week's. They only scored 7 points last week. They need to start putting some points on the board and scoring. Here's a wonderful opportunity. They're at the 12-yard line. They have to pick up the first here.
Larry Ned, the tailback. Quick drop, and he threw behind his intended receiver, number 16, J.R. Tolbert. It'll be 4th down and 5. Coverage on the play by Eugene Wilson, number 28.
This is Holly's first miss, but here you see Tolbert just run a simple slant pattern, and the ball a little bit behind him. I'm sure Holly wants that one back, because if he gets it inside and low, that may be 6 points.
Nate Tanberg in to attempt a field goal, Gino, from 28 yards out. Last week he struggled, missing 2 field goals, and the potential game winner with time winding down. But this one is right through the pipes. Tanberg now 1 of 3 on the season as San Diego State gets on the board. We'll be right back.
It all comes down to this ball, the 14-yard line. No timeouts left.
Tostitos? The exhilarating taste of new spicy quesadilla Tostitos chips.
Fight and march down the field, file up the touch.
It's fun for everyone. Dig in, kick back, Tostitos.
Long Easy 316 Delta Bravo, flight at 2, 5 hours from.
They get hired by companies like AT&T, GE, and Ford. They get training in over 200 real-world jobs. And they get it in the Army. That's right, the Army.
Whoa, what's up? Oh, let's see, that's a miss, that's lame. Sports drinks, colas, like that's working up there? But you get something good. You know why you don't have game? Because you don't got milk, that's why. Vitamin D. You want the D, you need me. Oh, right there. Basket's that way, Chief. Yeah.
Want game? Milk has 9 essential nutrients for active bodies.
You know what? When you guys are done denying, your beverage problem, give me a call. I'll be in the fridge. Come on, Shake.
Southern Miss's Derek Nix takes on the time at the electrifying Freddie Mellons. Southern Miss versus Alabama at 9, next Saturday on ESPN2. ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Nike.com. Go to Nike.com, delivering the buzz from Oz.
Look at the concentration factor by Eugene Wilson. He knows what's at stake. They're inside the 10-yard line, and he has to stop Tolbert from getting in the end zone. Just concentrating on 1-6 in his waist. Does a good job of breaking up that pass.
Sim Janowski kicks off. This is Rocky Harvey taking it from the goal line. Harvey brought down at the 24. The last drive, it was a methodical drive, 12 plays, 69 yards, using up 4:27 on the clock for San Diego State. But Illinois, meanwhile, this is what happened for them. Good play selection, capped off by Antonio Harris, running authoritatively for the touchdown.
Mark, it also helps when all the plays you're calling seem to be working.
That's what you call good play calling.
It's amazing what success will do for an offensive coordinator.
First down and 10 from the 24-yard line for Illinois. Kittner on the out and up again, looking for Young again. And this one is almost intercepted by Dante Campbell. Let's go back to the studio, check in with Reese Davis.
And Mark, look what we have going on in Atlanta. Florida State up by 5 deep in the third quarter. Joe Burns crashing into the end zone. 2-point conversion's good. And the rambling wreck on top of the number 2 team in the land by 3.
All right, Reese, the 2 top teams, Nebraska getting a scare today from Notre Dame, and Georgia Tech putting it on Florida State so far. Kurt Kittner, meanwhile, 6 of 8, a total of 51 yards passing and 1 touchdown. Second down and 10 for the Illini. They run it between the tackles. Rocky Harvey has a first down at the 31. Let's go downstairs to Rob for an injury report.
The Aztec defensive front a little thin right now. Linebacker Bo Trickey in the locker room right now getting x-rays on his hand, and sitting on the bench right in front of me, starting defensive tackle George Heather. Strained left knee. His return is questionable right now.
The troops are getting thinner for the Aztecs.
It's like a mash unit out there. They need to keep some healthy players on the field.
3rd down and 4. Illinois pretty successful so far on 3rd down situations tonight. Kittner has time again and fires incomplete, intended for Young. And it'll be 4th down. They'll have to punt. Gino, so far the Aztecs haven't seemed to put a glove on the quarterback with Illinois.
Well, that's what happens when you have an experienced offensive line like Illinois does. The offensive line, they're communicating with one another. They're telling each other who's blocking who, and they've done a good job of picking up all the different blitzes of San Diego State's.
Fitz with a high punt. Sean Pierce eschewing the fair catch and getting to the perimeter. A nice return that time by the Aztecs, and Sean Pierce pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line. A 35-yard punt. 19 yards on the return. See if they can get another score out of this drive. We'll be right back.
We're supposed to study in a room that's freezing.
Get back to class right now.
No.
In a split second, 6 students will make a decision
I'm sick and tired of never being listened to.
that will put them
Unless you took over the school.
to the ultimate test.
This is your final warning. I'm making the rules.
Because we really want his respect.
This is the end for you. No, it's just the beginning. Green light.
Light it up.
Flicks for the movie generation.
Cool and timeless. Movies you love. Movies you remember. All your favorites all the time. Check us out.
Flicks for the movie generation.
Part of Showtime Unlimited. Up to 10 channels for only $10.99 a month.
You think football is fun? Not anymore, though, is it?
Zero fun, sir.
All right. You got anger, that's good. And I don't need you up on my face. You got aggression, that's even better. Get up! We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. We don't let nothing come between us. We're gonna change the way we run. Change the way we block. Change the way we win. We are changed.
Remember the Titans. Rated PG. Starts September 29th.
Steve Fitz, the punter for Illinois just moments ago. You think he's a little hot? Upset? I think so. Giving up a 16-yard punt return to Sean Pierce. Fitz, a Ray Guy Award candidate as the nation's top punter. Doesn't look too pleased with himself right now. San Diego State with good field position. Last drive doing pretty well, picking up 69 yards and capping it off with a field goal by Tanberg. Hawley keeps his balance and fires a strike to Derek Lewis for a first down at the 36-yard line.
Hopefully the San Diego State offense can continue and get better on offense. It's a young, inexperienced offensive line, so they're starting to gel and come together.
Great speed on the corners, Gino.
Lewis runs a great comeback route, but Jack Hawley been very, very impressed with his arm strength. And the offensive line, there you see, giving Hawley all kinds of time to throw the football. Boy, Illinois wasn't even coming close to him that play.
Single back set. This is Larry Ned. And a nice shoestring tackle that time by number 47, Long. Lone Drain Long making the tackle that time for the Illini.
And when you have a back as quick and as good as Larry Ned, you just grab anywhere and hold on. And that's what Long did there.
Well, the good thing is that Ned has been able to get back up from such tackles so far tonight after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery just 19 days ago. Well, the first period is in the books. Illinois Illinois leads 14-3, doing it defensively and offensively. And Kurt Kittner has been pulling the trigger. We'll be right back.
ESPN's 2-Minute Drill, premiering September 11th.
Have you got the answer?
ESPN the magazine. Well, thank you for calling. Dan, can I put you on hold? Dan Patrick wants a free Polar Fleece pullover.
He writes a column for the magazine.
Yeah.
But he's not a new subscriber.
Sorry, Dan. No can do on the fleece. It's only for new subscribers. You mean you're actually calling to subscribe?
Okay, sure. Okay.
Everyone wants our warm, roomy Polar Fleece pullover. It has a half-zip front and embroidered ESPN the magazine logo. And best of all, it's free.
ESPN the magazine. It's Rich Eisen. He's called 3 times.
Sorry, Rich. I agree, it's a great-looking fleece, but it's only for new subscribers.
Subscribe now to ESPN the magazine and get your sports the way it ought to be. Big and bold, fast and furious. With in-your-face photos, amazing interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage of what's happening now and what's happening next. All with ESPN attitude.
Stuart Scott wants the fleece.
Booyah! Call now for ESPN the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. That's 66% off the newsstand price. And your fleece pullover is free.
It's Chris Berman.
He could go all the way!
Call now for ESPN the magazine and your free fleece pullover. 1-800-947-3113.
Welcome back to San Diego and Qualcomm Stadium. Number 21 Illinois leading 14-3. I'm Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta. Gino, the last couple of possessions for the Aztecs have looked entirely different from the first two. What's been the difference?
Holly's getting some time to throw the football, and his guys are catching it for him.
Pretty simple when you really think about it. 2nd down and 10 for the Aztecs. Illinois blitzing. Holly gets rid of it in time. Complete at the 26-yard line. Complete to number 2, Sean Pierce, for the first down.
There you see penalties. San Diego State can ill afford to continue to have penalties. But look at Jack Holly. Very, very impressed with his presence in the pocket and his big, strong arm. He just delivers a dart there. Takes a little licking, but every so often that gets the quarterback juices blood flowing, and he starts playing a little better after a few of those.
Especially Holly, because you won't see him run out of bounds much. He'll challenge those defensive backs when he has to scramble. 1st down and 10, 2 tight ends, 2 wide outs, and they run it between the tackles. That's Larry Ned. Let's go back to the studio with Reese Davis.
Mark, Arizona and Ohio State's defenses both came up large last week. Both teams looking for some offense, and Arizona finding some from Ortiz Jenkins. Nice little move to get in from the 11, and the Wildcats up on the Buckeyes 7-0 in the first quarter. UCLA got a scare late from Fresno, but held on to win it by 3.
Okay, Reese, and you know, Arizona can't play any worse offensively than they did last week against Utah. The defense carrying the load for them there. 2nd down and 8 right here for San Diego State. A quick slant, and it's almost intercepted by Eugene Wilson. It was intended for Tolver. Seems that they continue to throw Wilson's way.
They do, but we talked about pressure. They need to get it on the quarterback, Kurt Kittner, but Illinois does a great job pressuring Holly, into a poor throw to Tolliver that's behind him, and Eugene Wilson almost comes up with a big play. If he catches that, he might be able to turn around and take it to the house.
San Diego State used to the pressure from the game against Arizona State. They just came with 9 men up in the box.
And I'm sure the Illinois defensive staff and Tim Kish were able to see Arizona State blitz and get to Jack Holley last week.
3rd down and 8. Pass is ruled complete to Derek Lewis at the 11-yard line. Lewis hanging on. And it's a first down.
A super job. Watch Jack Holley makes the play fake, able to get his feet around and play fake. He sees the man coverage, sees the corner route, and Derek Lewis open, able to deliver the ball. And Mark, what do you know? That was a catch.
Drop. Offensive coordinator David Lay said that he figured his receivers would respond well today. 1st down and 10 from the 11. Ned. Larry Ned's going to lose about 2 yards on that play. Down about 12 to go. Up front, the surge led by Terrell Washington and number 47, Mondrain Long.
Let's take a look away from the football. And Lewis, the wide receiver, getting in Wilson's face and blocking him. Guys, you have to do that because you never want the defender to get one leg up on you. So I'm sure Lewis is going down. Hey, he's saying, Wilson's going to hit me, so I'm going to hit him on plays I'm not getting the ball.
2nd down and 12. Hawley to Ned out of the backfield. And Illinois' defense swarming right now, running to the football, bringing Ned down at the 20-yard line. The surge led by Robert Franklin and Trayvon Waller. It'll be 3rd down and long.
The Illinois defense does a great job of coming off, playing the zone, coming off the receivers, and coming up and just swarming and corralling Ned, not giving him anywhere to go.
And Gino, they also do a great job in the red zone. Last week against Middle Tennessee State in Champaign, they pitched a shutout except for 2 field goals.
They gave up a lot of yards. They bend, but they didn't break last week. Hopefully for San Diego State, they have to convert when they get inside the 20-yard line.
They've got to get to the 1-yard line for a 1st down. 3rd down and 19. Hawley underneath to Fletcher, and Fletcher is brought down at the 8, short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down. And in all probability, they will send in the field goal unit. Waller and Abdullah making the tackle for the Illini. And in comes Nate Tanberg, who has been successful already from 28 yards out. Just one of 3 on the season, though.
Well, let's see if there's any difference, because Tanberg's first attempt came off the dirt in the infield. Now this one's on grass. Let's see if there's any change.
He got it just inside that left upright. So Illinois' defense bends but doesn't break. A 26-yard field goal makes it 14-6.
2 years ago, I had dropped all the way to 141 in the world. For me, it became a fixation. 140, 141.
When you're ready to look out for number 1, Twin Lab will show you how. With innovative sports nutrition, vitamin, and herbal formulas that help turn who you were into who you are.
Now, I've got another number I'm fixated on.
Twin Lab. Answers for life.
Right now, save 20% on all Twin Lab sports products. Only at GNC.
On your scale from 1 to 10, how clean are your teeth right now? Want them cleaner? Get ready for a whole new level of clean from Crest. Introducing new Advanced Cleaning, the best Crest ever at repelling stains and tartar buildup long after you brush. So your teeth feel slick and smooth. Your mouth feels cleaner. And that's a feeling you can't measure. New Advanced Cleaning from Crest. Open up and smile.
I can bust anything, buddy Lee.
Everybody wins. Excellent.
Lee Dungarees.
Play the game at buddylee.com.
In business today, you face a crowded marketplace with competition from all sides. Greater pressure on margins. Too many short-term fixes, too few long-term answers. Now's the time. Come in from the cold. At Zurich Financial Services Group, we create innovative solutions for insurance, financial protection, and asset management. Your aspirations, our passion.
Welcome back to San Diego. The Aztecs starting to make a game of it now, 14-6 in the second quarter. We're joined now by defensive end Akbar Baja-Biamila. First off, I see you got the boot on your Achilles. Tell us how it's healed and when we can see you.
Well, I just got a note from the doctors that it looks like it may be a partial tear, so I got to just wait and see. I feel like I can come back next week, but I got to see what's going on as far as the doctor. I'll get an MRI on Tuesday.
You're keeping very busy on the sidelines. Looks like you're an assistant coach in the making over there.
Well, I got to keep everybody going, the defense line and the whole defense. So my job is just to get everybody motivated, and so we can go home with this win.
Akbar, thanks for your time. I know you want to get out there and watch your defense.
Boy, some pretty disappointing news, though. A partial tear of an Achilles tendon doesn't sound. You would think that he wouldn't be back anytime soon if it is a partial tear.
Yeah, anytime you get an Achilles injury or a tendon injury, not very good news.
Harvey and Cook running out of the eye for Illinois. Another quick drop complete to Walter Young at the 31-yard line. Stopped up by Gamble on the play. We are in San Diego, California, Qualcomm Stadium. Illinois, ranked number 21 in the country on a 5-game winning streak, taking on San Diego State. I'm Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta and Rob Stone on the sidelines. Illinois in the white, San Diego State in the home dark uniforms. Second down, 5 to go. Rocky Harvey. They have such a change of tempo in the Illinois backfield. And Gino, let's look at some of those starting themes that we looked at.
This is Gino's, not Bono's. Both offenses have to create big plays. San Diego State's going to blitz Illinois. They have to take advantage of it, break a few tackles. On the flip side, San Diego State has to create their own plays, going deep, catch the football, win the turnover battle. It's going to be awful tough. Illinois was number 2 in the country last season.
And so far, Jackson has a turnover already, an interception for Illinois. They run it that time. Rocky Harvey trying the right side of that massive Illinois offensive line. Sullivan, Bulaga, Butkus, Retziniak, and Pashos, averaging 308 pounds. The tackle that time made by Andrew Brigham. Rocky Harvey ran for a touchdown last week against Middle Tennessee, a 62-yard scamper. Ran for a total of 112 yards. And this time he comes into the slot on 2nd down and 10. Kittner complete to Young, and Young is close to the first down. Campbell making the stop. A very unique field that we see a lot in professional stadiums. You see the dirt combining with the grass. You see that little seam at the top of your screen. And that can present some very special challenges for both teams. Gino, I can imagine it's not fun playing on that dirt either.
It's not fun getting tackled on it, and a short yardage. It even makes it tougher for the big linemen to get their footing.
Challenging for the kickers as well on field goal attempts. 3rd down and 4. Kittner complete to Harvey. And Harvey is brought down at the 48-yard line. And he's close to the first down. Dylan Robles making the tackle for San Diego State.
Similar to Tiger Woods today, you got to avoid the hazard. It just so happens this one's in the middle of the football field.
Where's my 9-iron?
For him, he could probably hit a sand wedge out of the stadium.
Wouldn't doubt it. 1st down and 10. Harvey getting the first down. A blitz, San Diego State does. And a little mix-up on the route that time, it seemed, Gino. Young incomplete, the intended receiver. Let's go back to Bristol and Reese Davis.
All right, Mark, back to Atlanta. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Chris Winkie has his team on the move, down by 3 in the fourth quarter. Winkie, look at the touch on that ball to Robert Morgan. He gets in there barely, and the Seminoles back on top, 19-15. A lot to play, 12:58 to go. Colorado and SC might be playing even more. Could be headed to overtime.
You know, I think that overtime rule was one of the best ones that they've brought in college football in a long time. Kittner hands it off to his back. Antonio Harris gains a couple on the play. 8:35 to play in the first half. Don't forget, folks, Mississippi State takes on BYU Thursday night college football on ESPN. Starting at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific. Mike Tirico, Lee Corso, and Jerry Punch calling the action for you. Wayne Matkin, the leader at quarterback for Mississippi State. And that dog pound that Jackie Sherrill has on special teams, they're fun to watch as well. Third down, 7 to go for the Fighting Illini. Kittner out of the pocket for one of the rare times tonight. And it's complete to Lewis at the 38-yard line. A tackle made by Dante Gamble. And it's a first down for Illinois.
We talk about the size of the O-line. Look at these front five. San Diego State tries to change it up, only rushes 3 players. Well, this is what happens when you only rush 3 players. 6'5", 308 pounds, just demolish the other side of the football.
I saw a lot of guys in black on their back on that play. 1st and 10 for Kittner. Broken up nicely that time. It was intended for Young, and Dante Gamble comes out of there saying, not this time.
Mark, they've made no bones about it. Illinois is going to attack Dante Gamble. His size, he's only 5'8", a walk-on junior college transfer, and Kittner's throwing to Walter Young. Figures, hey, he's 6'5", he's got a better chance to get the football, but Gamble does a great job. There you see his cousin, Greg Lewis, wide open on the other side of the football.
2nd down and 10. This is the 10th play of the Illinois drive. Lewis in motion this time. Antonio Harris runs it down to the 35-yard line. Dante Gamble that time providing a little run support from the secondary. 7:26 to play in the first half. Jared Ritter also in on the stop. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 to go for Ron Turner's crew. The Coach of the Year finalist a year ago, his team going 8-4. They won a bowl game, and just 3 years ago they were 0-11.
They didn't just win a bowl game, they destroyed Virginia in their bowl game.
And they've been efficient on 3rd down tonight too, Gino. A trips right formation this time. Kittner right down the middle and a first down, and he finds big Walter Young. Hey, guy's 6'5", you got to go to him, right?
The guy's 6'5". He was the backup quarterback to Kurt Kittner last season. As a quarterback, you never know how a guy's going to adjust to a new position. Walter Young uses his size and his big 6'5" frame very well in shielding the defender away from the football.
Kittner last week mixed it up well. This week, 11 of 16 passing so far. 1st down and 10. Open again. Young staying on his feet, fighting for extra yardage. Stopped up at the 15 this time. Ken Delgado is under siege right now by that Illinois offense. Has a cool demeanor on the outside, but he's got a lot of fire in his stomach.
All defensive coaches have a lot of fire in them. It's just a matter of how they show their emotion to their player. And Delgado, maybe not the rah-rah guy and go wild on the sidelines, but he says he'll cut a glare, and his players know exactly what he's looking at.
Yeah, there are a couple of different ways to skin a cat, Gino. 2nd down and 1 for Illinois. Harris and Cook lining up out of the eye. 2 tight ends, Lewis in motion. Play fake. Touchdown, Illinois. What a grab by Josh Whitman, and Kittner put it right on the money for it. A 13-yard strike. And it's time for a new defensive plan from Ken Delgado.
That's just a great throw and catch. Kittner maybe not the most perfect throw. He makes a good play-action fake there. Sees Whitman. Look at the hands and concentration with the San Diego defender cutting right in front of him. And here you see on the other side of the ball, Delgado knows. That's another 7 points.
Fitz with the extra point. It's good. Illinois leading 21-6.
I'd say that the TiVo's been a real godsend for me. I'm in a high-stress profession. When I get home, television's my salvation. TiVo let me create my own TV network, so I can watch what I want when I want to. It's my way to forget about the day.
What do you like to watch?
Mainly cop shows.
Get a close on this guy. He's going away for a long time.
Hey, do you guys like to trade stocks?
Yeah.
So, you trade stocks frequently?
Frequently.
Frequent traders love Power E-Trade. You get free NASDAQ Level 2 quotes, real-time streaming portfolios, and a free DSL connection that's 50 times faster than most modems. Bang, like that, like wham.
Oh.
So, how does $4.95 a trade sound? Good?
Wow.
Love it.
Sign up with Power E-Trade right now and get 25 trades. Very powerful.
America still has a frontier.
San Francisco. Pretty amazing place. Especially for a MetLife financial professional.
So you recommend mutual funds?
I do. It's a great way to save.
When America moved west, MetLife invested in railroads, telephone, and electric lines. We helped connect the country. That's MetLife.
Pull a 401k up on the screen.
I work with people who work in the future. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen here first.
Brett Ingham, fluke or phenom. ESPN spotlights this super soft QB to see if he'll slump or soar. Mississippi State versus BYU at 8, Thursday on ESPN.
72-yard drive using a 5:48 on the clock. And Kittner delivering a 13-yard bullet into the end zone.
And really utilizing Walter Young's size and speed and the relatively inexperienced and smaller San Diego State secondary.
And San Diego State is hurting, literally, in the injury department. This is Trevelyan from the 12. And Trevelyan stopped up at the 25-yard line. Next Saturday, the Maryland Terrapins take on West Virginia beginning at 12 noon. Then it's Indiana against Kentucky from Lexington. That's where we'll be. And then it's number 24, Southern Miss, against number 3, Alabama at 9 o'clock, the nightcap, next Saturday on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. First down and 10 for the Aztecs, starting from their own 26-yard line. They've been pretty effective on their last couple of offensive possessions.
But they can't match Illinois drive for 60 minutes.
Do better than just field goals, too. Hawley, incomplete, intended for Howard. Knocks the clock with 5:27 to play in the first half. He was working on Eugene Wilson. Ted Tolner in his 7th year as head coach. He was looking at this game as a big opportunity for his team and for his program to get a big notch in their belt, Gino, knocking off a ranked opponent.
Well, not only a ranked opponent, but San Diego State doesn't get an opportunity a lot to be on TV in the Midwest or even East Coast, and now they have that opportunity here, and there's going to be a lot of kids watching this game in the Midwest around from the University of Illinois.
Yeah, the challenge is to capitalize on that opportunity. Hawley fires incomplete, intended for Tolver, and it's 3rd down.